Patriots number 15 Brown from
Presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Libetto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knott. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We are at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Libetto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
This broadcast on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Comes down low to the near side. Bennett walks out with it. Bennett centering. Feed fires in Easton. Bennett scores. It's 4-1 Magi on the twisted wrister from Easton Bennett.
Tradition of Magi hockey carries on today.
He scores, and it's a hat trick for Hayden Schwartz. Tic-tac-toe play, Mason Morelli with the backhand, flips it past the netminder. Here's Martell, drive, scores! Martell refutes, and the Magi are on the board with a power play. 40 seconds in OT, a drive coming back towards you.
With one goal in mind.
He's got one back to the Knights. Minot High is winning the state title. They have won the state championship.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Libetto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Point Hyde sends it down. Bennett, top shelf, backhand. Right where Grandma keeps the cookies, and it's 5-1. Out of Gretzky's office, Bennett feeds Hyde at the line, near side. Hyde tunes it in, tipped in front. Vile tucks it home, and it's 5-1. It's handling, whistling, firing into the glove. No, he scored. It's 2-0. Heads, tattoos it home, and the Magicians lead.
It's time for the Minot High Magician Hockey Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location, has been serving the Magic City for over 20 years. Call and order now at 701-852-1700.
Colby Enns will start the rush. Enns has a big hit at center ice. Welcome to senior night. Plenty of noise. Easton Bennett absolutely lights up Ruley. There's the hit of the game, maybe of the week.
Now, let's go to the ice with the voice of the Magi. Here's Nick Hulberg.
There's a championship banner that hangs in the Shields Arena here in Fargo, North Dakota. The banner says Clark Cup Champions 2017-2018. What does that mean? Well, it means that the team that makes this their home ice surface, the Fargo Force of the United States Hockey Leagues, were league champions in the United States Hockey League 1 year ago. A huge accomplishment for the Fargo Force of the United States Hockey League. This week, however, the Fargo Force aren't here. The top 8 teams in North Dakota invade this very Shields Arena. And on Saturday evening, there will be a new champion that's going to be crowned on this ice surface. It's the 2019 North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament. And my goodness, it hasn't disappointed so far. It's the final game of round 1, the quarterfinals, where the Magi from Minot High, the number 3 seed out of the West region, come in as their own team, sitting on a 12-11 overall record of the year. They take on Fargo Davies, the number 2 seed out of the East region, at 16-8. And if this one is anything like the ones that we saw earlier today, of course, minus Grand Forks Central taking it to Mandan earlier, but Bismarck High gets a win in overtime against Fargo South. We just witnessed Nick Brown picking up point on the year, number 54 for Bismarck Century, to put the Patriots into the semifinals with the win over Red River. This one tonight, if it's anything like the prior two, I hope you folks are buckled in and ready for what should be a good one. It's the Planet Pizza pregame show for Minot High Magicians hockey and tournament coverage from the North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament. 701-852-1700. They deliver pizza all over the Magic City. It truly is the best in town. Tonight's maybe not the night you want to go play laser tag, because you can do that for free on Mondays and Wednesdays. There's a great lunch buffet tomorrow, however. Maybe check it out then. Planet Pizza brings you the pregame show here tonight. I'm Nick Hulberg, voice of Minot High Magicians hockey, alongside of me, the partner that has been here for the last 6 years that I've had the call of Magi hockey. He's been here for longer than that when you talk about Magicians hockey, 44 years to be exact. It's Mr. Larry McFall that joins me now for the Planet Pizza pregame show. And Larry, my goodness, 2 overtime games back-to-back here in the quarterfinals of the tournament after Central gave it to Mandan earlier. No surprise there, but boy, this is the best opening round that we've seen in quite some time, according to those last 2 games.
Yeah, it has been, and that first game, the shots on goal were something to the like of 58-5 or something like that. Grand Forks Central really put it to Mandan. Talked to Leif Matson after that game a little bit, though. He says, what do you do? He was the best team of the tournament. They're expected to do that, but our kids are glad to be here, and we're going to go after it tomorrow. Of course, they're in the consolation bracket game now, but boy, as you said, the last 2 games, just barn burners. Bismarck High scoring late and then winning in overtime, and Bismarck Century, same thing. The Magic was working again late in the game. Nick Brown wins the face-off down in the attacking zone, steps around the guy, centers it, ricochets off a skate, goes in, ties the game, and then an unbelievable goal by him in overtime to win it for Century. So we've got 2 West teams in the semifinals now, and that's always big news when the West does well at this tournament. And now here it is, Minot High and Fargo Davies. They played once earlier this year. It was quite a while ago. Things have changed a little bit since then for both of these clubs. and we'll see what happens tonight. You just got to love state tournament time. Once again, when we came walking in here today, the first thing I said when we came in the front door, I said roasted almonds, because that's the first thing you smelled, whether it's the Ralph or here at the Shields in Fargo. It's state tournament time. We've had a great time all day long watching these games. Hooked up with John Willard for dinner. Rob Hall, my old broadcast partner, is over here. My buddy Scott Duke shows up. It's state. I'm just ready to rock and roll here.
Well, you missed the part of the story where you walk into the front doors of the Shields Arena. We go to the media table. At the media table, the lady hands us our press passes, and she says, do you guys need any help finding where you're supposed to go? And you, without skipping a beat, look her right in the eyes and say, we won a state title here in 2015.
Yeah, we don't need any help. We've been here before.
And by the way, Minot High in this venue, the 2 years that it's been here since they moved it from Grand Forks to Fargo and started the rotation, Minot High's been good in this venue for North Dakota high school hockey tournaments. You go back to 2015, they got the win over Devils Lake in overtime, 2-1. They beat Fargo South the next night, the empty net goal. Then they beat Grand Forks Central 2-1 for the state championship. The next year that it was here was 2017, and Minot High comes in. They play Fargo Davies in the opening round of the tournament. They get the win against Fargo Davies, 2 losses the next 2 days, but they're in the top 4 when the dust settles. Minot High's had some pretty good luck here in the Shields Arena. For whatever reason, they like this venue for North Dakota high school hockey. In your mind tonight, Larry, against a Davies team, a lot of people have Minot High pegged as the underdog. I've got some confidence tonight for the Magi that I believe they can win this hockey game. In your mind, if Minot High wants to advance to the semis and play Century tomorrow, what has to happen? What does the game plan need to be, and how much luck do they really need tonight in order to make that happen?
Well, it might be a broken record all the way back to 2001 when I did games with Rob Hall. But basically, I say the same thing every game in all these high school games. You have to protect the slot in front of your goaltender. You got to keep pucks out of there. You have to help your goalie out. You just don't make any mistakes in your own end. And then this goaltender's a tough goaltender, and you'll be talking about him in just a few minutes. But you have to get in his drill. You're not going to score first shots on a lot of these goaltenders. You have to cause ruckus. You have to get rebounds. You have to go for deflections. That's the way that you're going to get these guys. Watch your own zone and then make sure that you keep him busy down there and make him earn his 51 minutes in the net.
Well, the goaltender you speak of is Jared Winter, and he's a kid that's been here now for 3 years as the varsity starter for Davies. I do not know how he wasn't selected to the All-East Conference team. He's unbelievable. Listen to these numbers, Larry. Jared Winter comes into the tournament here in his senior year with a 1.43 goals against average and a 9.37 save percentage. Those numbers are good enough to be tops in any league, and he's certainly in some good company with the goaltenders at Central. And Red River, Devils Lake has a guy over here as well. I'm aware of that, but Jared Winter is a kid that in his junior campaign had a 1.6 goals against average and a 92% save percentage.
Wow.
Those numbers were good. How about his sophomore season, Larry, where Winter had a 2.18 goals against average and a 93% save percentage? How is this kid not the Gatorade Senior Athlete of the Year for the east side of the state? Better question, how did he even make the all-conference team? He's going to have a point to prove here tonight. That might be a bad thing for the Magi because this kid in the blue paint for Davies is the real deal. In my mind, maybe the best in North Dakota.
Yeah, well, boy, that really shocks me, too. I didn't know those numbers until you told them to me earlier tonight. And I joked with you and said he's just from the wrong town. That's what I thought. He's from Fargo. He's not from Grand Forks. It's a little inside joke, but he's good, and he's not going to give up those shots that you just take from around the perimeter. You got to get busy in front of him to cause some damage. And Minot has done a good job at doing that coming from the West Regional Tournament. They were starting to stir some stuff up in front of the goaltenders they faced at regionals, and this is a completely different Minot High team than played Davies earlier this year. This is a Minot High team that finally found some togetherness. They found some momentum, and they grown all year long and gotten better in anticipation for what they want, and the overall goal is to win the state tournament, and that's what they're here to do, and we'll see what they do tonight.
Well, you talk about the Davies matchup earlier this year, Larry. Minot High came down here to Fargo on the 12th of January, and it was Fargo Davies that spanked them around. 6-1 was the final of the game, and it was Davies that kind of had a cakewalk. In my mind, that might play a favor to Minot High again tonight with Dean Wilson, the new head coach of this Davies team, and this club from Fargo Davies that comes in the 2 seed from the East Region, maybe overlooking Minot High a little bit tonight. Minot High certainly the dark horse coming into the race here in 2019.
You know, and you just hit another great point. The coaching, the head coach is gone after the regional tournament. Are you kidding me? Now it's Dean Wilson, who's very successful, big name in hockey. In fact, he was supposed to do television. They had to bring in Tony Bina to take his place. Now he's a head coach. You as an athlete, all of a sudden going to the state, you got a new dude on the bench? I mean, doesn't that affect you a little bit? Doesn't that maybe throw things off a little bit? The Magicians are hoping tonight that change in coaches just at the last minute at the end of a wild season might maybe cause a little disarray with them too. You have to look at everything and look at all the areas of the game when you're thinking about how we're going to do. And I think that's a huge one. I think Davies can't possibly play the way they've been playing with what happened to them there the last week.
North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament live from the Shields Arena. It will be a good one tonight. The final game of day number 1. The Magi look to get to the semifinals where they'll match up with Bismarck Century if they can do that. If they lose, they play early tomorrow against Grand Forks Red River. Planet Pizza pregame show rolls on. When we come back, we'll dive further into the tournament and the performances today here at the 2019 North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Libetto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knopp. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We are at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork and their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Libetto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. They travel together, but in separate vehicles. The voices of Magi Hockey. Here's Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall.
Similar lineups for the Minot High Magicians and the Fargo Davies Eagles. You could say that both of these teams are young teams coming into the 2019 North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament. Who prevails tonight? We're about to find out. It's the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location. School parties, team parties, birthday parties, and so much more. They truly are out of this world. Planet Pizza delivers 701-852-1700. Try one of their specialty pizzas. The Blue Buffalo is my favorite. Tell them that Nick Hulberg, the voice of the Magi, sent you their way. Pre-game show for the state quarterfinals tonight. Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall. Larry, looking at the tournament brackets, not only on the boys' side, but the girls as well. Can we get a quick recap from you here in the Planet Pizza pregame show of today's action here at the 2019 North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament?
Sure can, Nick. And as you said, both these teams we're going to be watching here are fairly young. The Magicians with only 5 seniors, Fargo Davies with only 7 seniors. So both teams very, very young. We're excited to watch that game tonight. Over in the girls' brackets today, Fargo North-South defeated Devils Lake 5-0. West Fargo took out Grand Forks 2-1. And in a game just completed about a half an hour ago, not good news for the Minot fans, but Bismarck defeated Minot 1-0. Kenley Anderson scored at 13:37 of the second period for the only goal of the game on an assist from Taylor Leonards, and that was all the scoring. 3 penalties in the game, all on Minot in the third period, and that's not good when you spend 6 of the final 17 minutes in the box when you're trying to tie the game up. But boy, those girls fought hard. I was told it was another unbelievable performance by Minot goaltender Amber Borkus. She had 42 saves, on 43 shots. Great job by Borkus today. Minot only managed 9 shots on Skylar Ackerman from Bismarck. So they fought hard, but they dropped the game 1-0. And right now Davies has both their teams playing at the same time. The Davies girls, after 1 period of play next door, are leading Dickinson 1-0.
On the boys' side of the bracket, this is what we saw here today, Larry. And your opinion on Grand Forks Central putting it to Mandan 14-0 there. I mean, Central's obviously a war machine. That was a bit of a mismatch in the 11:30 game here this morning.
Yeah, it's what everybody said. It's one of the best Grand Forks Central teams of all time. Rob Hall, who's always been the stats guy, was sitting next to me during the game, and he said that he's pretty sure now that it's the highest scoring Grand Forks Central team in history.
Oh boy.
And that goes back, the state tournament started, I believe, in 1963. So that's, they're good. And Leif Madsen and Mandan, you hate to say you're just happy being at the state tournament, but Mandan's just happy being at the state tournament. And now tomorrow, they've got a better shot when they go into the consolations, and they are definitely going to go after it. So even though they just got beat real bad, Leif Madsen keeps an upper hand on it, and he's looking forward to tomorrow's game.
Leif is the head coach of the Mandan Braves. He's a former Minot High Magicians captain on the back end. Leif was named the 2019 West Region Coach of the Year. We talked about the next semifinal where Bismarck High got the win over Fargo South in overtime, and then Century gets the win in overtime over Grand Forks Red River. This one should be good tonight. It's Minot High and Fargo Davies in the quarterfinals of the North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament. When we come back to the Planet Pizza pregame show, we'll talk to the Minot High co-head coach, Mr. John Grubb. We'll hear his thoughts after an impressive West Region tournament for the Magi. A big win, 7-1 over Jamestown to get here to the tournament. What he expects out of the matchup tonight. And then we'll come back and we'll face it off. Go time tonight from the Shields Arena. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
kids go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
It's time for the Planet Pizza pregame Coach's Corner. Get your game plan for laser tag in the largest laser tag playground in the region. Did we mention the cheesy, delicious, mouth-watering first bite of a Planet Pizza pizza? Now, here's the matchups insight with the Planet Pizza Coach's Corner.
We're joined now by John Grubb, the co-head coach of the Minot High Magicians for the Planet Pizza Coach's Corner. And first of all, John, it's our favorite venue to play in, the Shields Arena here in Fargo, North Dakota, a place that we've had some success here in the opening round of the North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament. First of all, welcome back to state. Congratulations on a great region tournament, and great to see you here tonight.
Oh, yeah, we're excited to be here. We should play every state tournament here, I think.
Absolutely, I would have to agree. And, of course, alluding to 2015 when you guys won the State High School Hockey Championship, and then 2 years later when it came back to Fargo, an opening round tournament win over the team that you play here tonight in Fargo Davies. First of all, let's go back to that West Region tournament, and you look at a three-game set there for the Magi where they put quite a few points on the board and ended up falling to Century in the semifinals in a good hockey game. But my goodness, Saturday afternoon, you guys were buzzing against Jamestown. I don't know if anyone expected that outcome of that game. Your thoughts on how things ended with a 7-1 win over Jamestown to stamp your guys' seat as number 3 out of the West coming in?
Well, we were very proud of the kids. We thought actually our game got better as the tournament went along. I thought, even the second night in the loss to Century, we played better than we did in the first night in the win against Mandan. And then, we kind of kept it rolling, and it just paid off in the Jamestown game. The kids were good, and they were good for 3 periods.
10 sophomores on this hockey team. Your majority of your scoring has come from a pair of juniors up front, Fillion and Murphy. But the big thing at the end of the year now has been guys like Plemmel and Stenberg and Deal. That unit has certainly been going, and 2 of your senior captains in Deal and Kyler Stenberg with the help of the junior Plemmel, who had the natural hat trick in the qualifying game. How important is it for those guys to continue to go? It just seems like when you've got those 3 upperclassmen, if you will, rolling, everybody else seems to follow and play that much better.
That's probably one of our big keys tonight. Those guys, for us to have a chance to win this game, they have to play well. And, we lean on them. They're going to be out there majority of the ice time and out of TV timeouts and things like that. And they need to be good, and I think when they're good, the rest of the guys follow along, and everybody feels good about their game.
I've gotten a lot of strange looks when I tell people that I can see us playing on Saturday night for a state championship with a win here tonight and possibly a matchup tomorrow in the semifinals. Obviously, it's one game at a time, but when you come into the tournament rolling like you guys are, the heavy underdog like you guys are, in a lot of people's minds, you guys can almost have that as a chip on your shoulder and play loose tonight. Is that your message to the boys?
Yeah, that's what we're going to use. And, if you look at our side of the bracket, it's probably the best path to get to the state championship game. So, we have quite a challenge tonight. Fargo Davies is as good as anybody here outside of Pelly Central. And, if we can find a way to put some pucks away and be good in our own end like we have been recently, we have a good chance to win.
Scouting report on this Davies hockey team that's 16-8 overall. They're the number 3 seed in the regular season out east. They had an upset inside the EDC tournament. They finished in the 2 spot. They're the 2 seed out east coming into the tournament. 11-5 was their finish inside of conference play. But this is a team that, in my mind, you shut down that top line. Besides that, and maybe the best goaltender in the state of North Dakota, they don't have a whole lot, but that top line certainly is good. And Jared Winter back in the blue paint is somebody you're going to have to crack early here tonight.
Yeah, he is. And that, it's going to be minimize the damage with that line. They're going to get something. It's going to be hard to keep them completely off the board. What that means, if whoever groups out there with them, if they do a good job and minimize the damage they do, the other lines then need to win their shifts, and they need to be able to put some pucks in the net.
Goal number one this year was to get back to the North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament. Now that you guys are here, the guys get to breathe that air and that smell of the almonds here inside the Shields Arena and just be a part of it. How important is it for the program and for these guys to settle in maybe in the first 10 minutes tonight and understand that the lights are bright, but they're no different than the Mesa Arena last Saturday afternoon?
Yep, I'm sure we'll have a lot of nerves, but on the same side, there's a lot of kids in Fargo Davies that are going to have some also. And it's just getting out there and feeling good about yourself the first few shifts, and hopefully we can get off to a good start. That's probably the biggest key to us. If we can get to that first TV timeout and then kind of say, hey, we're settled in now, guys. Let's just keep playing and, keep the goals short term every 5 minutes. Try to win that 5 minutes, and that's probably going to be our path.
You guys have had an interesting duo back there in the blue paint. Two kids pushing each other. One is Trey Sortland, the sophomore. The other is Odie Nelson, the senior. You guys go with Sortland here tonight. What do you expect out of the sophomore net keeper that certainly has to be one of your best players on the ice if you guys want a shot to win?
Yeah, we think he's fully capable of giving us a chance to win tonight. He's been pretty consistent all year, and he's a very competitive kid, and it seems like the more pucks that get to him, for some reason, maybe it's just goaltenders, almost the better he gets. And it's like he kind of gets in a groove, and hopefully tonight he comes out there and he feels good about himself, and I'm sure he's going to be excited to play, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
You take away last year's do not qualify for the tournament D and Q in the side of the bracket. When you look at the spreadsheet, besides that, Minot High is a team that's been on the map and a contender each and every year. Mm-hmm. What does it mean for you for Magicians Hockey just to be back here in a team that's talked about as having a bright future and knowing that we're going to be a contender again, even this year and the years forward?
It's been fun. I've had a blast coaching. I think these last 6 years we've been in the state in the Final Four here, and the 3 of the last 6 years, and that's exciting, and it shows there's opportunity for kids. Success is there, and if things go right, you might have a chance to win this thing. So I think that's the biggest thing, is set goals, and they are attainable.
We get a win here tonight. Maybe we'll have to make this our home rink and play some more games here. That would certainly be good.
I think so. We'll schedule some of those non-conferences out here. We'll just meet somebody here and play. But I don't know. It's a good atmosphere. People walking back and forth between the two rinks, checking in on games, and in the evening bracket, even the quarterfinals seems to have a little atmosphere to it. So it sure makes it fun.
Sure appreciate your time. Best of luck here in this one tonight.
Thanks, Nick.
That's John Grubb, the co-head coach of the Minot High Magicians. When we come back to the Planet Pizza pregame show, we'll break this one down further, then we'll face it off. Quarterfinal day, the North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament. It's Fargo Davies and Minot High. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. One likes reading history novels. The other likes dressing up like the cat from Kiss. They're the voices of Magi Hockey. Let's get back to the press box with Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall.
February 2015 was a special time for the Maroon and Gold. They picked up a win here on this very ice surface, the first time they ever played a North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament here. They beat Devils Lake at Holden Kurtz 2-1 in overtime. That night, they went on to beat Fargo South the following night. On Saturday night here at the Shields Arena, they won their second North Dakota State High School Hockey Championship 23 years after they won their first one in '92. It's a special place for the Magi, and tonight They take on Fargo Davies in the 2019 North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament. Good evening. It's just about go time for Magi Hockey. Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall. Larry, who's going tonight for both of these hockey clubs?
Fargo Davies is the home team on the scoreboard. They'll start Jared Winter in the net. He's a senior. Isaac Balvich, a junior defenseman's on one side. Tristan Downer is a junior, number 21. He's his defensive partner. And the forwards are sophomore Dylan Jensen. He'll wear sweater number 12. Austin Schmidt, the junior. He'll wear 17. And number 20 is Cade Stibbe. He is a junior and the leading scorer of Fargo Davies. For the Magicians, Trey Sortland, the sophomore, starts in the net. On defense here tonight for the Magicians is Tatum Hertz and Gabriel Thongfett. Hertz a senior and Thongfett a sophomore. And the starting front line for the Magicians, Kyler Stenberg, the senior, wearing number 22. Mason Deal, also a senior. He's number 24. And Jack Plemmel, who's been very hot of late, is a junior wearing number 12. That's the starting lineup for John Grubb and Jason Bennett's Minot Magicians.
Well, here's who to listen for tonight. Cade Stibbe, you mentioned him, Larry. He was All-State last year, two-time All-East Region player. 49 points for him. That's good enough for number 6 in North Dakota coming into the tournament. 21 goals, 28 assists for Stibbe. He's only a junior. Kate Hansen, 33 points for him. 10 goals, 23 assists. Aiden Potus, 24 goals. That leads the team for Davies. 31 points in total. 29 for Austin Schmidt. Turnquist has 20. Jensen has 20. 19 for Bellerud. Corbett has 17. 15 for the D-man Max Larson. The bad news for the Magi, that's a lot of guys with 15-plus points. This team can score. They've shown that all year long. They've scored 128 goals on the year, and they've only been scored on 47 times. That's because of their goaltender, the senior Jared Winter, who comes into tonight's contest at 12-5, 93% save percentage. It's almost at 94. He's got a 1.43 goals against average. For the Magi, they're led by Peyton Fillion, the only West Region all-conference team selection for the Magi. 28 points for Fillion. He leads the team with 18 assists, 10 goals for him. Goal leader is Aiden Morelli. He's got 22 on the year, 22 total points, that is. 14 goals for Aiden Morelli, the sophomore. Nick Murphy's got 22 points, 22 as well for Mason Deal, 16 for Casey Field. In goal for the Magi, Sortland, a 90% save percentage, and a 2 goals against average. The sophomore is 8-5. It's just about go time tonight from the Shields Arena. That will put a cap on our Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location. School parties, team parties, birthday parties, and so much more. They truly are out of this world. Here's how we'll set this one up for you. Minot Highs in their road maroons. They won the state title in those same uniforms in 2015. They'll travel from the left to the right. Maroon helmets, pants, and gloves. They're trimmed out in Vegas gold trim. They've got the old school gold ties right around the neck to tie up the uniform. They've got the square M across the chest. Fargo Davies has the big D on their white uniforms with the eagle coming in from the left side. They'll travel from the right to the left. They've got cardinal red helmets, pants, and gloves on. They're trimmed out in Vegas gold also. We're underway from Fargo for round number 1 for the Magi in the 2019 State High School Hockey Tournament, and here come the Guns for Davies out of their own zone with Austin Schmidt carries it down on Sortland's glove side, wraparound attempt, not there. Schmidt throws it in front of the net, comes back away. Hertz takes it away. Deal has it now, and Deal whistles it up to center, and Jack Plummel's in on the one-on-one. He'll just dump it down to the corner in behind Winter, where Stenberg's on the retrieve for the Magi. Minot High went for the wholesale change, minus Stenberg up front. That's going to free the puck and some real estate now for the Eagles, and Donner moves it forward up the far side wall. Big hit there from Aiden Morelli, and the puck is down to the corner. Minot High D-zone sent in front. Oh, one-timer, give and go, and Aiden Potus has goal number 25, and that's a trend the Magi would certainly like to break. First shot of the game, and the first one finds the net. Davies is up 1-0.
Yeah, that goal comes at 53 seconds. And Ben Bonebrake had a chance to control the puck at the face-off dot, and he just couldn't get it. And the Davies squad picks it up, skates around, and a nice centering pass and a one-timer. And as Nick said, the first shot once again goes in.
minutes into the first period.
We'll listen in.
For the Eagles, number 9, Aiden Portis. For the assist on to number 20, Kate Stibbe. Again, that even straight goal at 53 seconds. Number 9.
It'll be Aiden Portis. And on the assist will be skater number 20, Cade Stibbe.
Well, it didn't take long for Stibbe to get 50 points. Coming into the tournament, he had 49. Only took him 53 seconds. And Davies is on the board first. Their two top players connect there. 50 points now for Cade Stibbe. Portis picks up goal. Point number 25 on the year. Goal number 25, that is. Point number 32. Icing on the Magi. Puck will come back, get him out of high territory.
It's just amazing, Nick, that the Magicians are just in big trouble every game. They give up the first shot. This is like 4 of the last 7 games, I think. The first shot has went in. And, boy, you just can't do that. Let's see if the Magicians can recover.
Well, kind of like the Century game in the semifinals of the West Region Tournament. It was a good shot. Nothing that Sortland or Nelson could do there. You'd just like to see maybe one of those shots be stolen maybe by the Minot High goaltender just to get everybody off their heels a little bit, up onto their toes early on in the contest. Sortland makes a save here.
Connor Turnquist just went around and tried a wraparound. This time Sortland was up for the challenge and makes the save.
Off the draw, Minot High DN. Glove side of Sortland. Puck lays in the corner now. Left side of the radio dial near boards. Out of the corner, that was Corbin trying to work it out. Here's a drive coming up. That one whistled wide from Bellerud. And it's going to be worked back away to the near side wing where Hilbert has a hit, frees it for bone break. And now off to Riley Oprud. And here's Oprud high up off the glass trying to clear it. He does. Out to center. Over the Buffalo Wild Wings logo at center ice. The Eagles take it back, and Donner carries it into Magi territory as the Magicians regain control, and Hauser flips it back out of the zone. Davies dumps it back in behind the Minot High net. To the first one there is Big Ben Bonebreak. Went up to field at the line. He couldn't clear the zone, and the Eagles pounce it from the far line back to the near corner, down low underneath the goal line, up to the top of the circle. Now the Magi and Plebel are out to center. It's a 2-on-4 with Plebel. He's ridden off the plate nicely by Isaac Balvich, and now the Eagles have control with Max Larson, who goes back to center with the hair flowing from Dylan Johnson. Good hockey hair from that kid. Sends it down to the corner, and the Eagles in the offensive zone back and behind Sortland on the glove side. Have control in front of the net. Top shelf. My goodness, Austin Schmidt's got his 20th of the year. And the Magicians haven't even been able to say Charlie Brown yet. And it's 2-0.
The puck laying on the circle to the left of Sortland. And just picking it right up and firing it at the same time was Austin Schmidt. And boy, oh boy, the Magicians have dug themselves a hole already here. And that goal will come at the 4:03 mark, or the 3:03 mark, excuse me, here of period number 1.
Stenberg from center dumps it in. We'll listen in.
The Eagles, number 17, Austin Schmidt. First assist to number 12, Dylan Jensen. Second assist to number 20, Kate Stibbe.
Dylan Jensen getting an assist, and Stibbe his second assist of the game, number 20. It'll be 17 from 12 and 20 at the 3:13 mark. And the Magicians got to put their foot on the pedal.
Into the offensive zone, the Eagles are going to take it down in behind Trey Sortland again. Back behind the Minot High cage. Puck is sent up here by the Eagles. This is Potus. Back away it comes. Now the Magicians have it again here with Hertz. He whistles it up off the glass and rolls out to center. And on the retrieve of the neutral zone is Isaac Balvich. Balvich handles here. He moves it up to center, goes across neutral ice where it's handled now by Tyler Corbin. He'll skate it down into the corner with Turnquist. Trying to move it back in front of Sortland on the glove side, and Fillion takes it away for the Magi, and Fillion is up and out to center, crossed over the Davies stripe, and then the Eagles push it right back out to neutral ice where Bonebreak has it. Finds Nick Murphy. Threw it up to him. Murphy couldn't corral the pass, and the Eagles have it back with Max Larson. He was an all-EDC selection here in 2019. He's a big player on the back end. Collision at the Minot High blue line. The puck from Oprud freed it up, and now Fillion's in. Fillion onto his backhand, tunes it up. Winter got a shoulder on it. Went wide and into the corner. Down low, the Eagles have it their own defensive territory. And away with it is Ralt. He'll take it back away underneath the net. Shuffled back over to the glove side. Right side of the radio dial. Hillman frees it. It's going to roll it on the goaltender, Jared Winter. Hillman's crashing and banging down low. He'll free it back up now to Casey Field. Dumped around the end boards, away to the far side corner, underneath the goal line, almost. Now it comes for Hauser, sends it back away to the far point, tried to get it up there, couldn't clear it out for Tyler Corbin, who sends it all the way down. Icing is waved off as the Magi pick it up and fire it right back out to center for Hauser, who's going to skate in with it. Hauser met by 2 Eagles there. Now Hillman's got it, far side wall. He's pinned up, but he freed it to Field. Field's underneath the goal line. Davies D-end. Puck taken here by the Eagles, and they skate it back up to center. Here's Stibbe. My goodness, is he fast. 2 points tonight. Fancy move in. Oh, my word. How do you even call that? That might be one of the best plays I've seen in North Dakota high school hockey.
Unbelievable. Stibbe just took it all the way down like Wayne Gretzky. Wound around both defensemen in between another and 5-hole Sortland. Oh boy, that was just unbelievable. What a goal. Well, that comes at 5:29.
At this point, you got to look at bringing Odie Nelson into the hockey game. You would have to think Sortland's given up 3 on 4 shots here in this one. And Davies is cruising 3-0 as Cade Stibbe picks up another point. He's got point number 50, 51, and 52, and we're not even halfway through the first period here.
Unassisted for Stibbe, Nick.
How about that move? Put that one on the highlight reel. That one might be going to Sports Center. No kidding, it was that good. Comes back away for the Eagles. They're back into the offensive territory. Jensen's back down to the corner. Comes back up, top of the circle, center slot, offensive zone. Eagles fired on, save, rebound, a juicy one. Goes away to the far wing. And at the point, it's Max Larson that takes it down low and sends it into the corner far side. Back there is Cade Hansen. Scrubbing for it. 5 shots to none. Davies has the shot advantage and a 3-0 lead. Back at the top of the circle into the glove of Trey Sortland. And Sortland hangs on.
You know, one of my keys to the game was protecting that slot area and helping Trey Sortland out and keeping them out on the perimeter. And they just haven't done it. The Magicians are opening up the door, and they're just barraging right into the blue paint. And Davies out to a quick 3-rip lead.
Well, nothing Trey Sortland could do on those, but again, in my mind, if you want to compete at this tournament, you can't give up 3 on 4 shots, bottom line, and I've preached that my entire career. Nothing different here. You feel bad for the kid, without a doubt. He's going to have to buckle it down here for the Magi if they're going to want to stay in here and not be laughed out of the Shields Arena here in Fargo. It's already 3-0 with 9:56 to play here in the first period. Back at the point, offensive zone for the Eagles. A drive comes in off the side of the net. That one from Rolt comes back away to the near side wing. D-zone for the Magi. Trying to clear on the Magicians with the help of Bonebreak. Goes away to Philly and down on the near side wing. It's going to be flipped up by Bonebreak and all the way out to center ice. Philly on the rush for it, but it's taken there by Max Larson, and Larson moves it back away. It's taken out by Oprud, and Oprud will dump it down into the corner back behind Winter on the blocker side. Escapes around to the glove side corner. Now it's taken here by the Eagles and Connor Turnquist. Turnquist is a 20-point player for Davies. He skates it coast to coast around a few Magi. Center slot, taking it out of the backhand. Sit in front of the net. Sortland ended up out of position. And the puck goes away back to the far side point at the line. Balvich takes it and fires it up. That one went wide. Comes back underneath the goal line. Sit in front. The one-timer trying to connect with Turnquist, but no good. Back at the far point, it's handled here. This is Isaac Balvich sent in. Sortland fighting the puck a bit here, Larry, early in the contest. Now he's got to stop, and we're going to have a Donnybrook as Hillman takes care of the goaltender. Now the boys will be boys as everybody has a conversation with their opponent right in the blue paint to Sortland.
Well, they're crashing in on the blue paint. They're just trying to rattle Sortland, and this time finally the Magicians stand up for him and knock the guy down on his breezers. And the referee, fairly kind, not calling any penalties on that one. Could have been a couple of roughings dished out. 8:47 remains in the first period. If you're just joining us, it's not a good start for your Magicians as the Davies Eagles have racked up 3 goals and lead this 3-0. The one thing we have had today is a lot of TV timeouts that happened quite a bit. As we sat here today, we saw a lot of breaks in the action, and we're on another now, and maybe maybe Minot can at least take a little break from these timeouts and use them to their advantage, man, and try to slow down this Eagle team.
Well, Fargo Davies looking like the better team here without a doubt. 7-0 shots in this one. They lead 3-0. And Minot hasn't even looked like they've gotten off the bus here in this one yet. By the way, if you're in need of new carpet or flooring, visit Sam Newfina at Carpet Garage in Minot. Carpet Garage has a massive inventory. Talk to Sam. He makes your buying process easy. Sam Newfina at the Carpet Garage for all of your flooring needs, located on 20th Avenue in Minot. Well, here we go. Face-off on the blocker side of Trey Sortland. Rough start for the sophomore here tonight in his first state tournament appearance. 3 goals on 4 shots. 1 goes right towards the net in front of him, underneath the goal line on the glove side. It's Oprud that scrubs forward on the far wall, taken here by the Eagles, and that's Bellerud over there that's got it pinned up. Now Oprud scrumming forward down low again. Here with Connor Turnquist. Turnquist out of the corner. Comes back away onto the tape for Bellerud. Bellerud walks in and fires it all. Headhunt whistled it over the glove on Sortland's glove side, and now the Magicians have Deal out to center. Deal's going to walk in, turns it, and fires it towards the net. First shot registered to Canaccord for Winter. 3-0 Davies with 8:13 to play in the first.
Mason Deal didn't have anybody with him, so he did the smart thing, and he just fired it on net. You never know what's going to happen, and that time making the save as Winter. But the Magicians right now already in the spot where when you get it inside the zone, you just got to fire shots on the net and see what happens here.
Hit off the draw, Nick Murphy in the circle on the glove side of Winter. It's taken, however, by the Eagles, and they're going to control here. Dylan Jensen up out to center, and Jensen delivers off to Stibbe. Man, is he fast. Takes it down low. Blocker side, trying to send it in front. Stibbe's hit behind the net by Hertz, and the puck is going to be worked out to center. Here's Murphy off to Morelli, and Morelli's in with it. Morelli takes it underneath the goal line. He's met there and hounded by Isaac Balvich, and Balvich takes it away from Aiden Morelli, and now the puck is worked around the near wall. Dylan Jensen, 20 points for him out to center, and guess who? Stibbe's back in. Stibbe backdoor fade, and they have scored again. Austin Schmidt makes it 4-0. And at this point, with 8 shots on goal and 4 against, you would think Nelson might be coming from the bullpen.
What assist by Stibbe, unbelievable. There's no one on the ice that could stay with him. And he comes on in again and makes a nice pass across the slot. And the Magicians aren't protecting that slot at all. And that goal comes at 9:25.
All Davies in this one, second of the night, 21st of the year for Austin Schmidt. Point number 31. My goodness, icing on the Magi. Let's listen in.
First assist goes to number 20, Cade Stibbe. Second assist to number 12, Dylan Jensen.
Schmidt from Stibbe and Jensen at 9:25, and there is no joy in Mudville.
I had dinner with my daughter last night. Always enjoyable. Here's a drive off the crossbar. That one back into the catching mid of Sortland. He'll hang tight to it. I asked her if she thought Minot High would win, and she smiled and said yes. And I said, do you think it'll be a big win? And she said, yeah, I think it will. I said, like 6-1, and she said, well, she's 5, keep in mind. She said, well, maybe 70-30. So I took that as 7-3. So we were picking 6-1 Minot High here tonight.
Well, this might end up 70 if Davies keeps rolling.
My goodness. She's watching it on TV right now, shaking her head. I'm sure she is, just like Dad. Shots are 9-1 Davies, and they lead 4-0. 7 minutes to play here in the first period. Cade Stibbe show here in Fargo has certainly dominated early in this one. Puck taken and dumped down from Luck, back in behind the net. On the retrieve is Hauser, but it's handled here by the Eagles, and they're going to work it back over to the far side for Larson, and Larson will dump this one back in behind Trey Sortland. Davies goes for a wholesale change, so the Magi are back to retrieve in their own territory with Hunter Cope, trying to feed it up to Stenberg. Now it's taken with a backhand from Larson. He'll launch this one down, and an icing on the play with 6:20 to play here in the first. 4-0 Davies with the lead.
The Magician section is right in front of us, and everyone in the parent section is just shocked. And 4 goals in 9 minutes and 25 seconds. Magicians just need something good to happen here before the end of this period.
Off the draw, here's Plemmel turning and firing. That one went up into the protective mesh. Off of a nice stick there, getting in the way from Connor Turnquist. Well, you kind of giggle when you watch this unfold. After talking to John Grubb in the pregame show, I sound like an idiot. I said, you know, they only have Stibbe in that top line and Jared Winter back there, so they got the best goalie in the state. And probably argue the way that Stibbe's played. He's been an All-Stater 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that's all they got.
He might be the best in the state again here this year. Other than that, they're not very good.
No, they don't have much.
What they do have is a 4-goal lead right now with 5:50 to play in the first period. They're giving it to the Magi early in this one. Puck is taken down to the corner by the Eagles. They're going to try to work it in front of the net. Taken there by Deal. He'll flip it up to center, and Stenberg carries it into the zone. He shoveled it ahead for it after he was hit, and now it comes back out to neutral where Bellerude's on it. He had his pocket picked there, and a nice play from Mason Deal, but it's picked back up by the Eagles, and here comes Isaac Balvich again. Balvich sent it across the line up to Dylan Jensen. That's the best hockey here we've seen in a while, but he is offsides.
Well, I haven't seen a early sports whooping like this since the last time I crushed Scott Duke on the golf course. This is just a blitzkrieg.
Media timeout inside the Shields Arena. Minot High getting pounded in this one, 4-0 early. This is Minot High Magicians hockey.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza.
Watch out for flying pucks and the Zamboni. Let's go back to the press box with Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall.
Total of 5 practices. That's how many Dean Wilson has had with the Fargo Davies Eagles as their interim head coach. 5 total practices. He retired in 2008 from Fargo South. He was there for 18 years. He had 3 state titles with Fargo South. Davies coaching staff walked out a week ago. They needed some coaches. They called up Dean Wilson. Wilson said, I'll take that honeymoon vacation and coach a little hockey. He's on the bench for the Eagles right now. He's getting closer and closer to retirement right now. He's smiling and profiling on that Davies bench.
Can a guy get Coach of the Year for just coaching for 1 week?
He might if they keep playing like this heading into.
If they win the tournament, can he get Coach of the Year?
Eagles are back in. Another shot came up. A riser from Austin Schmidt. He was bidding for another one here tonight. He's already got 2 in the contest. Down low, centering feed. Goes back away to the far side wall, and it's Dylan Jensen. Odd angle shot. That one up over the glove and back away to the near side point. Larson holds it in. Then it's poked out of the zone by Morelli. 4-0 Fargo Davies early in this one. 4:43 to play in the first period. Yeah, it's interesting. I had a nice conversation with Dean Wilson earlier on this week. I called him and talked to Dean and asked him his whole life story, basically. Anytime that you got a guy that has been in hockey that long, that mutual connection. And Dean and I talked. He's originally from Thunder Bay, Ontario. He came to Grand Forks. He could have played hockey or he could have played football. He decided to play on the gridiron for University of North Dakota, the Fighting Sioux at that time. And when he was done with his football playing days, he hopped in at Red River. Coached for 2 years at Red River. Here's a drive coming in. Stop is made. Sortland rebound. It's in the back of the net. My goodness, it's 5-0.
I was enjoying your story until that goal went in. And that one comes at 12:38. I really think you got to get the sophomore out of there now and bring in the senior Odin Nelson, so this kid's psyche's not destroyed for the next 2 years.
Well, I kind of thought that after he gave up 3 on 4. And I said the same thing when Nelson gave up 2 on 2 in the semifinals of the region tournament. Look out, puck is going to fly up from the defensive zone, trying to clear the zone are the Magicians. Comes back away out to center ice. Jack Plemmel's got the burners on, tries to cross over center. Now it's going to be taken here by Plemmel.
Cade Hansen from Aiden POTUS. 8 from 9 at 12:38.
Side of the net, Stenberg offensive zone, trying to chip one towards the goal. That's goal number 11 for Cade Hansen, point number 34 on the year.
Sandvik also with an assist, Nick. 8 from 9 and 4 at 12:38.
Davies has control of the puck, offensive zone. Hurts with a nice play on the wall, frees it up there to deal. How do the Magicians respond? You'd like to say that they're not going to lay down a die, but at this point it's 5-0 early in the contest. Shots are 11-3, and right now it looks like watching a senior men's beer league contest right now, because the way that the offensive rushes have taken place from Cade Stibbe, that's what it looks like. I mean, he's just a one-man wrecking crew out there. It's like when John Lazat comes back and plays on my men's league tournament team. Puck is taken and sent all the way down. And Winters out of the net to play it, but that's an icing here. 5-0 Davies with the lead. Point being is that when we play in those tournaments, John Lazat comes back. He's a defenseman and one of the studs for St. Cloud State. Plays with his older brother Matt Lazat, who I grew up playing with. And here's all us older guys at 30, early 30s, you know, looking a little maybe not as in good a shape as we once were. Drive comes in. The stop is made from Sortland. You look across the locker room, and there's John Lazat sitting there with Montreal Canadiens free swag from the training camp he was just at. And if he wants to change a game at those men's league tournaments, he certainly can, you know. And that's what Stibbe looks like here tonight. Stibbe's got 4 points. 5-0 Davies leads. 2:53 to play in the first. Fargo Davies controls the play back behind the Minot High net. They're not done here. The first is Connor Turnquist is down low, shuffles it back over to Belleroute. Puck is going to come back out for the Magi to center. Here comes Fillion, and Fillion's in. He'll take that one down to the corner, chip it off the end wall, glove side of Winter. Taken by the Eagles, and they go cross ice out to center, and handling now is Tyler Corbin. Corbin's got a 17-point year for the Eagles. Back at neutral ice as the Magi pushed it back out. It's Balvich back in. And Balvich sends it back down where Bonebreak takes it and whistles it around to the near side wing.
Boy, Nick Murphy just got crushed.
Back down low, Dylan Jansen centering feed. Stibbe tried to unload one. The captain of the Eagles looking for .5 with 2:02 to play here in the first period. Davies is up 5-0. You heard it right, 5-0 Davies. In this first period, puck comes back up to Larson at the line. Now Stibbe, top of the circle, glove side, sends it in. Stop is made from Sortland and away down to the corner near wing. Magi trying to clear the zone, but on the retrieve for the Eagles and handling here is Austin Schmidt. Goes back up to Larson. Now Stibbe's got it again here, and Stibbe with a backhand drops it down top of the circle. Comes back away out of the tape for Rolt. He'll send it across. Stibbe holds the line here at the near side point. Kids everywhere on the ice. Comes back all the way into Minot High offensive territory. We're down to 1:22 to play in the first period. Davies is up 5-0 in the contest in the final game of the quarterfinals of the 2019 State High School Hockey Tournament. Goes away to the far side of the neutral zone. It's going to be picked up again by Cameron Rolt, the senior. Worked away there by Hunter Cope, and Cope trying to shuffle it back up the wall, but Yeager was there in the way of that one, and the puck is tied up right at the referee circle in front of the penalty benches. Goes back away to Cope. He tries to move it back ahead to the neutral zone, but the Eagles have too much pressure on the Magi, and the Eagles will have control now as they look to dump it into Minot High territory, and they do cleanly. That one off the stick of Rolt back in behind Sortland. They missed the 1-minute call inside the venue. We're down to 34 seconds to play here in the first period. Stick around for the first intermission report tonight. A great conversation with Ryan Cunningham off the side of the net from behind the cage. Hillman tucks it in off of Winter, and Minot High's on the board. It's 5-1, and who will it be? Give the credit to Ashton Hillman.
16:34, the time of that goal. When you're in a situation like this, Nick, you'll just take them. And that was shot from the goal line extended. and somehow found its way into the net off a couple of pairs of legs. But the Magicians will take it at 16-34, and they cut the lead to 5-1.
Scoring on that play, an even strength goal.
Let's listen in.
16-34. By number 16, Ashton Hillman. Again, that even strength goal at 16-34 for the Magicians.
Got him down, kids. We're at 6, 5, 4, 3. Davies with control. Here's the horn, and the first is going to come to a close.
That was Hillman unassisted at 16-34 as he threw it towards the net.
Fourth of the year for Hillman. Well, Minot High's got themselves in a bit of a hole here. 5-1, Davies leads the way. Minot High has had some comebacks this year. We'll see if the Young Guns can get it done tonight. My goodness, what a start for Davies. When we come back, we'll have our intermission report brought to you by Thrifty White Drug. First, let's talk to Jordan Willard. Actually, Jordan Willard is ice level, joining us on the bench here tonight. Coach, are you ice level with us? Coach Willard, are you there? Well, we'll have him in just one moment here, Larry. Jordan Willard is going to be ice level, waiting to see if we can hear him.
Yeah, I'm here, Nick.
All right, Jordan, we've got you now. If we can have you talk into that wireless microphone.
Yep. Are you good? You got me?
Yeah, we got you. Thank you very much. My goodness, the Cade Stibbe Show is on the ice tonight. Your thoughts on that first period of play before Minot High knew what hit him? Cade Stibbe already had 4 points. He's obviously a special player.
Yeah, obviously that kid is one of the top kids in the state. There's a reason he's committed to Arizona State as a junior, and I mean he's just a good hockey player. You know, we got to compete a little bit more. You know, you got a young kid in there in net, and you know we left him out to dry a little bit, and you know I think we just need to have a little bit more compete level. It came at times, just not enough times. So just need a little bit more of it, and you know start chipping away. I got one there at the end of the first period. Hopefully it's a little momentum moving forward.
Sure appreciate your time. We hope to have a closer score at the end of 2. Good luck in the second.
Sounds good. Thanks, Nicky.
That's Jordan Willard, the assistant coach of the Magi. You hear his thoughts at the end of the first period. When we come back, we'll talk to Ryan Cunningham, the voice of Grand Forks hockey. Man, they're having a special year there with Grand Forks Central. We'll also hear his take on Bill Chase, the Red River coach, who was dismissed from his duties after 10 years as the head coach behind the bench with 3 state titles from Red River. His thoughts on Peterson and the coaching staff from Davies walking out as well. We'll have all that for you coming up, and we'll have the stats and analysis of the first. It's 5-1 Fargo Davies at the end of 1 period played. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi. It's time for the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. First International has you covered. Let's go back to the press box for the stats, analysis, and everything else Magi hockey.
Welcome back to our First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. We're now joined by the voice of Grand Forks hockey, Mr. Ryan Cunningham. And first of all, before the tournament here this morning, thanks for a little time.
Hey, good luck to you guys. I know that a few years ago we met in this building and Minot got the best of Grand Forks Central in a thriller. So this is a good building for Minot. I hope you guys have a good tournament.
Yeah, it should be fun. And looking at what you've had the opportunity as the play-by-play voice for Central and Red River over on the east side of the state, what you've had the opportunity to call this year, my goodness, is this Central team the best team that you've ever seen? Are they in the top 5 at least of teams you've seen?
They have to be. When you take a look at how they've got it done so far this year, 4 lines deep. They play their 4th line in games that matter. They don't care. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up using them a lot in the first day's game against Mandan just because of the matchup situation. They're very good. You're not going to see any standout players, but one thing to keep in mind, Cole Hansen comes into this thing with 65 points, and a couple of years ago it was a big deal for Grant Johnson to have 75 points. Cole Hansen lost 2 games this year due to weather. One was with Grafton, one was with Devils Lake. He might have been a 75-point guy coming into the tournament too. But they've got a lot of really solid workers. They get it done up and down the ice, and I'm looking forward to a really good performance. We'll see if they can get it done in the tournament.
Well, it certainly is a topic of conversation when you look across the board and how good Central's been all year. In your mind, getting to cover this team all year, is there a way that they can be beaten? Somebody has to play their best game on that night, and they totally have to lay an egg. Is that fair to say, Ryan?
It's got to be a goaltender. Red River took them to overtime in the regular season, and they've got a really good goaltender in Nate Bradbury. They're going to score a lot of goals, and they get them from all over. Really, the issue with them is depth. I was talking last night with Troy Miller, the head coach at West Fargo, and he said that when you play Central, you feel like you have a line that can match up against the Kanta, Brisky, Hansen line, the first one they roll out. And then you're out of bullets because you can't match up 2, 3, and 4, and they just wear you down with depth. EDC championship game, we saw that. Davies was up 2-1 after a period, and about 7 minutes into the second, they just ran out of juice, and Central ended up winning 6-2. They wear you down, and they're really good at doing it.
Let's talk about the east side of North Dakota real quick here at tournament time. And obviously the big news over on the east side of the state is some coaching shakeups. And overall, when you look at it, this is a touchy subject with high school athletics and high school hockey, of course. But let's start with Red River and your involvement with Bill Chase and the Red River Rough Riders. In my mind, he's one of the best to coach in North Dakota. Overall, your thoughts, your take, the insight on the unfortunate dismissal of Bill Chase at Red River.
It's a really strange story because Bill did not become dismissed from his teaching job. And so the Grand Forks Herald ran an article on Tuesday that talked about culture, that talked about aggressive language or intimidating language. And if he's doing that, he apparently isn't doing it as a school counselor. That tells you a little something about his profession. And, he's not one of these guys that works outside the school system. He's got to go to school every day and teach. Bill's a great coach. Bill's expected a lot out of this team. Bill's had players leave to go to the juniors. There's been some crosstown enrollment issues with players that are at Red River that can go to Central. They can't go from Central to Red River by rule in Grand Forks. That stops some of the development of that program. We'll see more. There's an investigation ongoing, and according to Mark Rarick, the activities director, even last week, you may not see a long-term coaching change. There's an investigation. They've got to run the wheel, and then we'll see what comes out on the backside. But as of right now, it's John Dvorak's team.
Unfortunate to even have to talk about a situation like that. It's uncomfortable for everybody involved. And when you go south 100 miles an hour south, it's the same situation at Fargo Davies. Your take on Dean Wilson stepping in, the 3-time state champion coach with Fargo South. It's now the interim head coach here at Fargo Davies.
He got him here. He got an upset in the semifinals against Fargo South, so he was able to take the team and put it together. Davies is a team I think that is a little bit misunderstood. They lost a really great player last year in Tyler Clevin that didn't come back. And when you look at their offense, they've really got 1 or 2 players, and then they've got some guys that are maybe above average, but they're not flashy. Jared Winter is the heart and soul of that team. He spent some time injured this year. That caused issues. And then we understand that there were some parental grumblings that went on, and a meeting with the athletic director took place about how guys were playing together, and Scott Peterson had enough. And, both of these stories come together with one thing. Who's going to want to be a head coach at a varsity level of any sport if this is the way these gotcha moments kind of come up that cause you to lose your job? And then with both guys, get dragged out in the media and dragged out when you still got to go to school and work there every day. It's a tough role to be in.
Ryan, great insight on this, and you hear so many things out west, and having a conversation with you here today and seeing what was in the Herald yesterday and across the board. I mean, like I said, it certainly is big news when you're talking about perennial powerhouse, especially like a Red River team, you know, that had so much success under Chase. Let's turn directions now and talk about this tournament a little bit more with the state's competition. Your thoughts overall on East Region hockey, West Region hockey, North Dakota high school hockey as a whole here in 2018-2019. What's your view and your take as getting to see a bunch of these teams play throughout the years, the radio broadcaster in Grand Forks? How do you think the level of competition has been, the parity, and overall the state of North Dakota high school hockey here in 2019?
Well, if you take the EDC and put Central over here for a second, 2 through 8 were pretty balanced, and really you could throw Cheyenne into that. I mean, Grafton ended up the 8 seed. Cheyenne went up to Grafton and won 6-1 at one point this year. Red River's in the tournament. Devils Lake isn't. Lost their last game of the regular season at Devils Lake. Dropped them from a 2 seed to a 4 seed. There was a lot of balance, a lot of parity in the East region, again, aside from Central. You know, in the West, it kind of looked like it was a bit of a return at the end of the year to what you've expected. Bismarck, Century, Minot, and then who's going to be 4. Mandan shocked the world and got here as a 4 seed. The future going forward, you know, I talked to Mike Peluso on Monday night. Very concerned about Hazen Beulah coming back into the West, asking for a complete schedule now that they have a full varsity and JV. You have to waste a game, maybe 2 on that. He feels like he's losing players to the juniors because of the weakness, perhaps, of high school hockey in North Dakota. How good would Century be right now if Kirkland Irie was still on this team and not with the Bobcats? So that changes them completely. There's that. There's talk in Grand Forks. There's a couple of parents that are talking about a midget team. And there's talk of a midget team coming down from Canada. There's been a lease that's been floated out there. They would play their games at the Ralph. So things might start to change rather quickly now that there's a threat. But you know about hockey. North Dakota's a basketball state, and we're hockey guys in it. If it's not going to affect basketball, change is slow to come from the High School Activities Association.
Sure, appreciate your time as always. Great seeing you here at the tournament, as it is each and every year. And best of luck to everything you're doing here, and great to see you again.
Thanks. Look, it's always fun to run into you, Nick. I hope we play each other at some point so we can get after each other again. But good luck to you guys also.
That's Ryan Cunningham, the voice of Grand Forks hockey. We sure appreciate his time. When we come back to the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report, we'll dive into the numbers of this one. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
On the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. Let's get back to the ice with the voices of Magi Hockey, Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall.
Well, it's Fargo Davies in the first period, burning it to the ground. They lead 5-1 at the end of one. Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall for the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. We're at the end of it. Larry, do you have some stats for us for one period of play?
Yeah, Davies got the scoring going at the 53-second mark. Aiden Potus from Cade Stibbe. Then at 3:03, it was Austin Schmidt from Dylan Jensen and Cade Stibbe. And then Cade Stibbe unassisted at 5:29. Austin Schmidt again at 9:25 from guess who? Cade Stibbe and Dylan Johnson. Then Cade Hansen scoring at the 12:38 mark from Potus and Sandvik. And then Ashton Hillman gets the Magicians on the board at 16:34 with a shot from the goal line extended. Trey Sortland with only 9 saves on 14 shots, not what he wanted to see. And Jared Winter with 3 saves on 4 shots. Davies with an advantage of 9-4 on quality scoring chances. And boy, no penalties called in the first period. I guess that's a good thing. And we are now ready for period number 2. I just spotted Marty Jackson one of Minot High's former goaltenders sitting over on the far side across from us. Nice to see Marty Jackson at a game.
Marty's probably not liking this one too much. 5-1, Davies leads. Second is underway. Davies from the left to the right, right to the left from Minot High. If you're just joining us, we sure appreciate you for stopping into the North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament. We're at the Shields Arena here in Fargo, North Dakota, and it's Minot High that's down by 4 to start the middle frame. Davies with control of the puck back in their own territory, trying to work it up the near side wall. Puck away there from Cade Stibbe and back out to center ice. It's going to be handled on the far wall from Dylan Jensen. He'll take it underneath the net with the help there of Schmidt, who's got 2 goals in the hockey game tonight. Stibbe hit on the play there by Bonebreak, and Bonebreak and Stibbe have a foot race to the near half wall to get it, and then Bonebreak rails Stibbe on the near side wall. Big hit there. No call on the play. It's freed down for Morelli, and here comes Morelli out to center with a backhand. Pitchforks this one in towards the net. Went left to the goaltender Winter. Now it's pushed right back up to neutral, and handling is POTUS. POTUS carries it in, but he's interrupted on the play by Thongfett. Stenberg hard on the attack here as the puck's picked up back in their own territory for the Eagles and Ralt. Stenberg took it away, make that Mason deal. Simpton in front, trying to feed it there to Plemmel, but it's picked up here by POTUS, and POTUS is back in. POTUS turns it and fires it right off the goal mask and then to the back of the net. And Sortland gives up another one on the rebound, and it's 6-1.
1:29 will be the time of that goal as Davies gets another rush into the Magician zone. I was just going to say the keys to the game: protect your goaltender, protect the slot, and see if the Magicians can do that here in the second period. And then now once again the gates opened up, and that Davies is just owning that slot area in front of the net, and it's just killing the Magician.
Well, we'll listen in and see if there's an assist on POTUS' second of the night. Goal number 26 on the year.
POTUS gets the goal. No assist for POTUS. He scored the first goal of the game as well. And Davies making a mockery of this one at 6-0.
Well, he shot it off the mask of Trey Sortland, got his own rebound, and then found the back of the net. Kid could obviously score. He's got 26 goals on the year. He's got assists to go with that, by the way. Only 7 helpers coming into the tournament.
Well, excuse me, 6-1 right now, not 6-0.
Minot's biggest margin of defeat on the year. 5-0. They lost to Century on the 6th of December.
And 6-1 to Davies, I believe. 2 5-goal losses.
Puck is handled by the Eagles. Back far point. You are correct, Larry. Puck is taken here by the Magi. Hillman's going to bring it out to center, and Hillman's got the burners on, but he was interrupted on the play as he crossed over neutral ice. Balvich took it from him, and now it's taken by the Eagles. They're back in with it. Stibbe tried to feed it across. Nobody home there, and the puck will come all the way back into Davies' defensive territory. What will be picked up here by Lamp. Lamp moves it ahead, got it back onto the tape here for Dylan Jensen. And Jensen was in with it, then the help of Stibbe, but it comes out to center. Big Max Larson is out there, and he'll dump it right back in behind Sortland. On the glove side of Trey Sortland, the puck lays here. The Magicians and Fillion trying to clear it out, goes back up to the line. Now it comes back away to Fillion, and Fillion handles, and Fillion at center at his pocket, picked by Stibbe, and Stibbe's back in with it. Stibbe in front of the net, goes left to the goal, tried to send it back in front, comes out of the tape for Austin Schmidt. Taken here by Fillion, and Fillion starts the rush to center. Only one Minot High Magician named to the All-West Region Conference team this year. That's Fillion. Puck's going to come back up to the point for Hunter Cope. Sends it in. Morelli tried to tip it. It went wide. Nick Murphy tried to take the shortcut through the blue paint behind Jared Winter. Doesn't matter anyway. Meanwhile, it's Larson that's trying to clear it. Max Larson has it back. Gets it across there to Austin Schmidt. Goes out to center. The puck is handled by POTUS, who walks in. Fires a high riser over the glove of Sortland. And the puck will come back to the point. Sent back in by the Eagles. And it's Hunter Cope on the retrieve. Cope hammers it off the boards up to the far point. Eagles with control now of the offensive territory. Far wall, Cade Hansen. Number 17 in all of North Dakota for scores, coming into the tournament with 33 points on the year. Murphy trying to clear the zone. He can't. Davies is just skating around the Magicians right now. Kate Hansen's got the puck again. Goes back over to Nick Murphy, held it at the line. Oh, fires it in off the mask of Sortland again. Sortland's tied up on the side of the net. Having the goal stick there was Kate Hansen. No call on the play, and the puck comes all the way back up to the blue line right in front of the Davies bench. No power plays or penalty time so far in the contest here tonight. They haven't had time to blow the whistle. Minot High's been getting shelled at 6-1. Taken by Thogfed. He tries to clear it. Comes back away to the near zone. D side for the Eagles. It's By that handles, and he moves it up through neutral into Magi territory. The Magi pushing right back the other way. And now the puck will be sent 200 feet by the Eagles, but the icing is waved off as the puck was touched by the Magi. Now Stenberg trying to clear his own zone. He's got the help of Morelli. Now Plemmel with it. Plemmel just passes it right to the D-man, Sandvik, for the Eagles. And it's taken here by Morelli on the near side wing. And the Eagles move it back ahead forward into the offensive zone. A 3-on-3 back in. A drive comes in off the pad of Sortland and back underneath the Minot High cage now as Fleming trying to feed it out front. Couldn't do so, but it's held in at the line by Andrew Sandvik. He goes behind the net. Hunter Cope takes it away there. And now it's going to be worked up to the blue line again and sent back in behind where on the retrieve is Thogfed. 19-5. The shots on goal. Davies has the lead in that category, and they lead 6-1 where it matters with 10:50 to play here in the second period. Jack Plemmel at neutral, scrumming there. Getting it up at neutral ice now is Morelli. It's picked up again here by Malvich, and Malvich is back in, drops it back. Shot comes in off the pad of Sortland. He kicked the leg pillows out, and it went down to the corner. Not a very big crowd on hand tonight here at the Shields Arena, by the way. This place holds 6,000 people. Lucky if they've got a grand in here tonight. Might not even be that many. Puck comes back away, top of the circle. A drive comes in off of Morelli. Stick it up and out of play. 10:15 to play in the second. Media timeout inside the venue at 6-1, Fargo Davies.
Davies has a pretty good size student section here, and Minot does not. There's about 6 people over in the Minot section, and then the parents are down in front of us. But we were talking about that a little bit earlier today, too, Nick, how the attendance at the state high school hockey tournament just isn't what it used to be. People ask me why people don't go anymore. Things are different nowadays. A lot of the kids have to work jobs because they have all the fancy toys nowadays. But also I think junior hockey coming on in and the level of play here with the Fargo Force, the Minot Minotauros, the Bismarck Bobcats. You get used to watching junior hockey now in this state. And it's sometimes tough to come back and try to watch high school level hockey. So I think that's one of the reasons the crowds aren't as large as they used to be. High school hockey used to be the only game in town, unless you would go and watch a UNB game. Now there's a lot of junior hockey around, a lot of good college hockey too, and I think that might be one of the reasons. Another reason is it's 6-1. A lot of people aren't going to watch that much longer.
As your old broadcast partner Charlie Fox would have said, he would have already been on the phone calling, "Come get me, mommy, I am through with this one."
That's exactly what Charlie would have said.
In on Winter, he's going to fall on it and hang tight. Face-off will come on Jared Winter's glove side. Well, when you look at the Eagles, you mentioned it before we went on the air tonight, this is a team that comes in at 11-5 in the East region, 16-8 overall. In their last 5 games, they're 4-1, where they've scored 33 goals compared to the 9 that they've given up. 6-4 in their last 10. Their biggest margin of victory on the year, Larry, they beat West Fargo Cheyenne 14-1.
Boy.
Stibby's back in, turns it and fires it. Flashy glove save, and Sortland hangs on tight to it.
And this is Fargo Davies night at the arena, because over on the other side in girls action, Fargo Davies leading Dickinson 4-0 after 2 periods. So the Davies team's another TV timeout?
Another TV timeout.
Wow. I can't cut that down because you're in television. That's your job as a salesman. So I'll just stay quiet about the timeouts.
Me and the High School Activities Association are developing a love-hate relationship these days. You go right ahead. 9:52 to play in the second, 6-1. Fargo Davies on top.
Well, the Magicians just haven't been able to get anything together. I'm looking for that first pass to get out of the zone and go down in a wave once in a while. Go down on a 2-on-1, a 2-on-2. They're just getting the puck and then just knocking it down the ice, and they're not. They've been one step behind all game long. And now, Nick, when you fall behind this much, now you try it too hard and things just keep on snowballing. And it just seems like they can't get anything going here right now.
Well, they're getting pumped, that's for sure. Shots are 22-5. 6-1, Davies with the lead. 9:51 to play in the second. Drive comes in from Sortland's glove side. Taken here by Mason Deal. Sockers it forward up to Stenberg, and Stenberg's out to center. He's got Plemmel with him. Stenberg tried to backhand that one off to Plemmel. Couldn't do it. It comes back away on the near side wing where it's going to come back up to Plemmel, who takes it and fires it right back behind the net of Winter. Now away to Stenberg underneath the goal line. He's pinned down there by two Davies Eagles. 6-1, they lead. 9:20 to play here in the second. Minot High trailing in this one, trying to get the feet going underneath them to generate some kind of positivity for the club. Drive from the line. There's a positive glove save from Sortland.
From a screen from the blue line. Yeah, they just need a couple of breaks to try to get at least going back in the right direction in this one. Davies is playing so physical. They're just knocking them around. And the Magicians just have not been able to regroup after giving up 2 in the first 3 minutes tonight.
Thogfett handles here. He goes out to center and Luck's in with it. Now Luck's going to carry in. The only freshman on the club walks in and fires one towards the net. This fourth line for the Magicians has some jab. That's what Minot High's been missing, is guys to just turn on the burners. You're seeing Jaden Luck's line right now. They're the only ones doing it. They're creating some opportunities, giving everything they've got. Luck with a big hit on the near wall, though. Look out. That's going to be a 5-minute major, you'd have to think, or will it? Yes, it's going to be a board. And here comes a 5-minute major power play.
8:20 will be the time of the penalty. And he is the only freshman on the team, and Jaden in the first period was trying to hit some bodies, and he was taking the worst of the brunt in the first period. But he keeps on fighting, and now, unfortunately, that hit. We're still waiting to see if they're going to give him a 5 or not. It's not up on the board. No, it's just going to be a 2-minute power play for Davies, and I think the Magicians dodged a bullet there.
I don't think that's right. In high school hockey, it's a mandatory 5 minutes for a boarding or a checking from behind. There it comes on the board, and it will be a 5-minute major.
Now they changed it.
Any boarding or check from behind gets you 5 guaranteed. First power play of the night, and it's for the Davies Eagles. Just with a nightmare, couldn't have gotten any worse for the Magi. Now they're shorthanded for the next 5 minutes. Stibbe handles top of the circle back to the near point. Drive comes in. Sortland makes the stop. And man, you feel bad for Trey Sortland tonight. He's really battling the puck. Had some trouble with that rebound, but he corrals it.
Well, this is just a big part of the game now for the Magicians, and just try to stave off this power play and see if they can improve the penalty kill.
Up at the line, puck sent down to Stibbe, far circle, right side of the radio dial. Taking away Fillion, shorthanded. Here comes Peyton Fillion. He's got Hauser with him. Fillion coast to coast. He's going to turn and fire. And the stop is made from Winter. And the second best opportunity of the night for the Magi results in shot number 7. They're still down 6-1.
Yeah, nice play by Fillion. He poked that forward and started to go with it. He wanted to get a pass over to, I think it was Plemmel, but he just didn't have enough time once he ran it down. So he did the best thing he could do and take a shot, but Davies' goaltender saw that all the way.
Handled down by the Eagles. They're back in. Connor Turnquist back behind the net. He works out of Gretzky's office. Bottom of the circle down at the half wall. Drops it down underneath the goal line. Stick handling here. This is Corbin. Comes back away out of the tape for Connor Turnquist. Works it back up to the line. Handling now is Larson. Back away in front of the net. Taken away by Stenberg. And like a UFO, Stenberg launches that one on. That fell right on the top of the blue paint. A tricky one for Winter. And Winter makes the save. 7:30 to play here. The second. Minot High's down 6-1. They're shorthanded for the next 3:44. They regain control at center with Bonebreak, who sends it back in.
Bonebreak's got to get 2 more steps up and keep that in the zone.
Back at center ice. It's taken here by the Eagles again. And with it now is Cade Hansen. And Hansen walks over, trying to move it ahead forward. It goes back into Minot High offensive territory. That puck stayed on the dashers. It was dumped in from center, rode the blue dasher all the way around. And it's going to be controlled here by the Eagles back in their own territory. Directly behind the net of Jared Winter. Off to Cade Stibbe, who's been a one-man wrecking crew in this contest so far. He skates in coast to coast. He'll take it underneath the net. Glove to the blocker side. Stibbe looking for the outlet, goes back to the point, finds it. Balvich sends it in. That one away to the near side wing underneath the goal line again. It comes up down to Dylan Jensen, and Jensen goes back to Balvich at the line. Dropped it down to the corner. Aiden POTUS, he's got a multiple point night tonight for Davies. Over to Stibbe. Back away here to the near wall where it's going to be handled by Jensen behind the net. They work it out. Stibbe head fakes, makes a move. Center slot now. Back to the top of the circle, far side. Howitzer sent in from Isaac Balvich, and it hit traffic and goes away to the far wing again. Then a hit from Planimal on Balvich, but it comes down low where Balvich handles again. Balvich works it back out. We're down to 20 seconds on the 2-minute. Let me start that over. 2:20 left of the 5-minute major power play. Drive comes in. That one went just wide. 5:50 to play here in the second. Minot High down 6-1. Now a delayed call. Murphy's going to draw one there, and we'll have a stop in the play as Murphy was hit. That'll be a rough.
11:16 will be the time of the penalty. Just our second penalty of the night. First penalty on Davies. And that's going to eliminate pretty much the rest of that power play except for 4 seconds. 2:04 left on the Magician penalty. 2 minutes now on Davies. So just joining us, 5:54 remains in the second. And Davies with a 6-1 lead over the Magicians.
Puck goes back away to Hunter Cope in the offensive zone. Taken here by the Eagles. However, they've got it again with Bellerud. Up the near side wall in front of the Magi bench. It's taken and worked by Turnquist. The Magi have it back offensive zone. Mason Deal trying to make a fancy move, and the defenseman was there to shut that party down. Comes back away to Tristan Donner, and Donner's got it now at center ice with the help of Connor Turnquist into the offensive zone. Turnquist wheeling and dealing, sends it up a drive. Oh, what a save! There was a huge stop from Trey Sortland. That was robbery.
Nice glove save, laying down and making the stop with the catching glove.
Bellerud was robbed. Now Morelli's in. He'll fire it towards the net. Was that Bellerud or Donner? Doesn't matter. It was absolute robbery. Looking at the replay on the big screen inside the Shields Arena. Look at this. It was 21. Tristan Donner looking for his 3rd goal of the year. And Trey Sortland made the save of the game.
Yeah, unbelievable big screen they have here now in the Shields Arena. They've upgraded. This 4-sided colored scoreboard is awesome. Lots of replays. Wish the game would be a little more awesome.
Puck handled by the Davies Eagles now at center ice. Back into the offensive zone. This is POTUS again. POTUS a drive save. He scores. 7-1.
Oh my. 12:25 the time of that goal. POTUS brought it on in. Took the shot. Sortland the save. Rebound came out. Still no defensive help. POTUS puts in his own rebound.
Hat trick.
That's the Hattie.
Well, it will be run time heading into period number 3, unless the Magicians can find an answer.
Here's your Eagles goal. Even strength goal scored at the 12:25 mark.
We'll listen in.
Here in the second period for the Eagles, number 9, Aiden Povich. The assist going to number 13, Isaac Baldwin. Again, that even strength goal at 12:25.
An assist for number 13 on that goal.
13, Baldwin.
Well,
Isaac Baldwin.
Not what we expected tonight. Can you pinpoint it? Obviously, Stibby's a special player, and they've got some studs here, but Minot High's compete level is arguably not there tonight, eh?
No, it is not. Davies, no matter how good they are, they're skating at a pretty good pace, and the Magicians just haven't equaled them. Davies just skating around Magician players, almost like going around pylons on a driver's ed field.
Stibby does it again. Center slot, drops it back up to the far side. Across for Larson. Center slot, comes back up to Larson, calls for it and gets it. 10 seconds, make it 5 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. And here comes Stenberg. Stenberg's into the offensive zone, dropped it back to Murphy. 3 feet off sides where the Magi, both teams are at full strength. Stibby's back in, other side of the ice, sends it in. Sortland makes the save, and Trey Sortland hangs tight to it. 3:35 to play in the second period. It is 7-1 in favor of Fargo Davies. By the way, join KMOT TV Sports Director Ben Barr for all your sports highlights from across the region. KMOT TV, not only your sports leader, your local news leader in Minot. KMOT TV at 6 and 10. Media timeouts, we'll tell you about Minot Hockey Boosters as well. Be a part of the greatest game on earth. Talk to the Minot Hockey Boosters today about learning to play. Minot Hockey Boosters, inspiring teamwork, pride, and life lessons in the lives of all of our members. Visit them online at minothockey.com. Well, the good news for you, Larry, at least the Red River lost. You get to go watch them tomorrow morning. Because that's who Minot High is fixing to play right now. That will be loser goes home, winner moves on tomorrow at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, it's a nice consolation prize, Nick, to have Red River get beat every year. But we are just getting it handed to us here. And that kind of takes away the joy of the Red River loss.
Yeah, Minot High's getting pounded. No way to even sugarcoat this one. It's 7-1, 3:25 left here in the second period.
Can't wait to hear what Rob Hall has to say about it here at the second intermission.
Good to see Rob Hall, former voice of the Magi, 10 years on the mic. He'll be here in the booth. We'll have a conversation with him. We'll also talk to Jordan Willard again. In between periods, maybe Coach Willard probably wouldn't want to answer the questions after this one so far. Here's a drive from the line. Puck sent down, and it comes back away off of Donner. Back up to Donner. It's going to be coughed up, and here come the Magi. Fields in with Morelli, the two young guns. Field, far side, sends it in front of the net. Nice defensive play there. And getting in the way of that one was Ralt. Back up to Hunter Cope. He scored his first goal of the year in the region tournament. Sent it in, hit traffic. Back in front, center slot, no one home. Back away to Field. Worked on it, taken by the Eagles, and they're going to move it back away. Now Morelli's got it again, and here's Aiden Morelli down to the corner. Morelli hooked on the play. Magician fans want the call. They don't get it. Comes back away to the half boards. Offensive zone for the Magi, and they're just slow even getting off the ice at all.
Yeah, there's no hustle at all the way it seems. They're just completely just shell-shocked at this point.
2:09 to play in the second, 7-1. Well, this will be the biggest margin of defeat for the Magicians in an opening round game at the state tournament that I can remember. We'll have to go into the history books on that. I mean, 7-1, this is an absolute beatdown. This will be their biggest loss of the year at the worst time because it's at the state tournament. Into the offensive zone. Eagles have control of the puck, taken away there by Deal, and out to center it comes with a backhand. Goes back away to Oprud, and Oprud's got it here, back away to the far side. Now Plemmel. Plemmel offensive zone, carried it in. Plemmel coast to coast, fires it on, and Jared Winter shuts the doors. Plemmel had the opportunity. 1:42 left here in the second.
Nice hustle by Plemmel. He tries to split the defenseman. He gets partially in, and then he got knocked down. He got a pretty good shot off when he was on his way down, but Jared Winter once again said no. There's 1:42 now remains in the second period.
Puck handled by the Eagles back in their own territory. First International Bank and Trust intermission report comes up next. 90 seconds away from that. Handled by the Eagles, offensive zone, blocker side, shot it on Sortland. He made the save, comes back to the far point. Taken there by Balvich. Now it's Bonebrink that sends it up the wall, right back in. Man, that puck sure rides that dasher here at the Shields Arena in Fargo. Out to center it comes. 1 minute call coming here in the period. Let's see if the PA guy grabs this one for us.
Yeah, even though the arena is fairly new, they've got the old style dasher boards that actually a puck can sit on, while a lot of the other rinks don't have that ledge anymore.
Stibbe's got it again. Here he comes into the offensive zone. Stibbe gets around Hertz, not after Hertz hit him. Comes back in front of the net. Comes back away on the near wing. Dean Wilson told me that he thought Stibbe was maybe the fastest player in the region. Guy is like Sonic without a doubt. He is quick, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a speedster.
Back in behind Sortland. We're at 23 seconds. Get ready to cut him down, kids. Minot High trailing 7-1. A drive in front. Sortland had to make a stop there on the Stibbe attempt. Far wall handled here. All right, cut him down. We're at 10. Now 9, 8, 7. Here come the Magi and Hauser. He'll fire it to the other end of the ice. In on Winter. 3-2. That's going to do it for the end of 2. My goodness, it's 7-1. Fargo Davies at the end of 2 periods played. And Minot High, I don't even know how to politely say it. They're taking it on the chin here tonight without a doubt. 7-1 at the end of 2. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
On the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knopp. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We are at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork and their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Libetto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. It's time for the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. First International has you covered. Let's go back to the press box for the stats, analysis, and everything else Magi hockey.
34 minutes in the books, and it's Fargo Davies putting it to the Magi from Minot High tonight. First International Bank and Trust intermission report. Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall will be joined by a special guest in just a moment. Larry, can we get a recap of the scoring after 2 periods of play in this one?
Once again, we'll go through the scoring real quick. The first goal of the game at the 53-second mark, it was Aiden Potus on an assist from Cade Stibbe. It was 1-0 Davies. Then at 3:03, Austin Schmidt tallied a goal with assists from Dylan Jensen and Cade Stibbe to make it 2-0. And then at the 5:29 mark, Cade Stibbe strikes unassisted. And before you know it, Davies has a 3-0 lead. But they were not done in the first period. At the 9:25 mark, it was Austin Schmidt from Stibbe again and Dylan Johnson for 4-0. And then Cade Hansen from POTUS and Sandvik at 12:38. And then finally the Magicians get on the board. Ashton Hillman scored from the goal line extended at 16:34 to make it at that time 5-1. Davies gets one at 1:29 of the second from Aiden Potus unassisted. And then Potus again gets the hat trick at the 12:25 mark on an assist from Isaac Baltovich. Penalties. 2 penalties in the game only after 2 periods of play, so that's a good thing. That's something to build on. As Jaden Luck got a 5-minute penalty for boarding, and that's not to build on. And then Austin Schmidt with the roughing call at the 11:16 mark. So 7-1 is the score. Goaltender saves. Jared Winter, 3 in the first, 7 in the second for a game total of 10. And Trey Sortland, 9 in the first, 15 in the second, for a game total of 24. Quality scoring chances favor Davies, 18-6. Face-offs are even at 12-12, but the score certainly is not.
7-1 Fargo Davies all over Minot High. Oh, this is a bright spot of the broadcast tonight. We're now joined by a special guest, the 11-year play-by-play voice of Minot High Magicians hockey, Mr. Rob Hall. And Rob, fantastic job with your work with Magicians hockey, your work at iHeartRadio, and everything that you did for the Magic City. First of all, welcome into the Shields Arena. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Great seeing you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And look at Larry, always still finding the silver lining. Only 2 penalties, duckies and bunnies. Way to stay positive, Larry.
Yeah, well, you always got to look for the good part.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Rob, you did Minot High hockey for 11 years, and you got to work with Mr. McFall here in those 11 years. Talk about your time as the play-by-play guy for Magicians hockey, man. You had some teams that you got to cover, you guys both, that were the tops in the state that were snake-bitten in games like this at the state high school hockey tournament, that opening round. But overall, what do you remember most from your time with Minot High Magicians hockey?
I was just kind of thinking, I was sitting over with Larry's son Brandon and his our friend Scott Duke, and just kind of talking about some of the past state tournaments, and of course yucking it up and laughing. I think just the good times that we've had on our road trips over those 11 years. going to Dickinson to do a hockey game, driving 4 hours to do a 2-hour game, and 4 hours back on a Tuesday night, or some of the crazy things we did when you look back at it, thinking, you know, we were crazy for doing it, but no, just and then you think, obviously being in the state tournament here, that 04-05 team, 24-1-1, losing that heartbreaker to Central in the opening round, tying, I think it was Red River late, the game that they should have won too. I think they gave up 2 goals late in the third period, but that season was certainly special. Just the players, the parents, the grandparents looking back, lifelong friends, and just really enjoyed it. And you guys do a great job too, continuing that. Larry's talked about you know, Charlie Ferguson and the years that they did Minot High hockey. I know Rick Anthony had done Minot High hockey. He hired me when I came from Williston to Minot back in 1998. So it's just fun to listen to you guys. And unfortunately, it's not going our way tonight. But you know, play hard, finish strong here in this third period.
Talk a little bit about your involvement with Minot High hockey. You were a Minot State grad. You were originally from Crosby, is that correct?
Yep.
And then went to Minot State, ended up as the voice of the Magi. After that, you ended up in Grand Forks for a while. And,
right.
And do you ever get on the radio anymore to do play-by-play?
I left Clear Channel back in 2011. Actually got into the oil field. Worked for Hess as a lease operator for a little over a year. Missed radio. I went back and worked for Clear Channel in Grand Forks. Covered East Grand Forks, Red River, and Central for a year doing play-by-play. Met my fiance. Long story. She was down in Texas. We actually went to high school together. We reconnected after 25 years. And we ended up moving to Fort Myers, Florida. We were down there for 2 years. And then we had a little boy, Henry, who was born on Christmas Day 3 years ago. And we decided to move back to North Dakota, back here to Fargo, and have been in the sales side of radio now for the last 2 years.
It's awesome, Rob. I'm happy to hear.
Circle.
Happy to hear things are going well for you. Larry, what's one of your greatest memories of working with Rob Hall? You guys did such a fantastic job together for all those years.
Well, at that time, Rob was an employee of the radio station, and technically I was too. So then the radio station expected us to go and do all the games. So we traveled, like Rob said, some unbelievable nights. Just we didn't miss a game. We did all of them. I'm glad now that Nick picks assorted games. In fact, this year we only went to Bismarck a couple of times, and I could handle that at my old age. I don't know if I could do another game in Grafton and come back in a blizzard in a rear-wheel drive Astro
we called
van
it the bread truck
with one sandbag in the back for protection, you know. So that was stuff that, you know, we just went everywhere. That was fun, and you got to really know the team because you were with them all the time. Now we have a selected schedule, and it's still good, but
we were a little crazy back then, weren't we?
Yeah, when Charlie Fox left, I thought the broadcasting was done. And so they opened up the season against Mandan. So Ray Levani and Brandon and I went down and watched the game. And then on the way home, I passed KCJB pickup. And I'm like, what's a KCJB doing driving back to Minot? What did they do tonight? There wasn't basketball down there. Turns out he went down and did the Mandan game, and he's getting the hockey broadcast reborn. And I'm like, wow. So I called him. I never knew Rob. I said, hey, I go, do you need a color commentator? Because I've worked with Charlie Fox. I'm in. And that's when, and now you got to tell this. Earlier,
Gary's probably listening.
Well,
hopefully.
that's fine if Gary's listening.
This was great. So Larry actually came into the studio and said, hey, I saw you were, I heard you were down doing the Mandan game. I'd done the Magic City Snow Bears the previous year, and they had gone away. And so I thought I needed something to do in the winter as far as more, you know, in addition to basketball, high school basketball. And so I said, I want to do hockey. Rick Stensby allowed me to go out and sell and do hockey. And Larry came in and asked about it, and I had never met Larry. And so I talked to Gary Sampson. I said, Gary, there's this guy that came into the station the other day, and he wants to do color. He's talking about doing color. Do you know him? I don't know much about him or whatever. And Gary kind of chuckled, laughed, said, yeah, he's got a kid in the program and this and that. And I said, well, would he make a good color analyst? He goes, let me think about it for a little bit. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, wow.
Samson snubbed you.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
And I talked to him at Charlie's Main Street Cafe for Coach's Corner. a few days later, I think it was that Saturday morning or whatever, and he kind of joked and said, yeah, you know, Larry, he knows Minot High hockey and this and that. I think it was just concerned as like a parent being on the air, something like that, but I still chuckle about it all these years later.
It might have had something to do with being non-politically correct.
Larry doesn't, he's a color analyst, but he doesn't, what do you call it, doesn't sugarcoat many things, so.
I have to laugh when you say that now, Rob, because he brings up so many times a year where he always talks about how you were always trying to reel him in because he would maybe get a little out of line, and he talks about now how Larry feels like he babysits me up here.
Now it's changed, Rob, completely.
Nice.
Now I'm the guy trying to keep things level.
Now you know how I felt.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's funny how that works, how you get the passion for it and how you stick around with it. Do you find yourself now in a situation like this tonight here as just a spectator and a resident of the east side of the state, feeling like you got punched in the belly watching Minot High get spanked 7-1?
It was kind of funny walking in. I bought my tournament pass, and I was trying to think back. I can't remember the last time I didn't have a media pass. I had to, you know, it was kind of funny, but it's fun because I'm not a media member. I can actually cheer now. As a media member, you're supposed to be neutral, you know, quote, neutral, and not cheer for anyone, things like that. So it's kind of fun just being a fan in the stands and watch this. But
one thing I have to say about both of you guys is I've worked with both of you guys 6 years now, I think, with Nick, 11 with you. Your guys' prep and your preparedness of getting ready for a game is second to none. You're both a little different in how you prep and how you run the show, but you guys just also have done just an excellent job over the years keeping this going. Rob was always the numbers guy, had everything down, ready to go. Look at what he's doing tonight. He's not just a fan in the crowd. Look at this stuff he's written down. But both of you guys, it's been great for me to be able to work with both of you guys, because without you two guys, this would have died after Charlie Fox left town. And then after you left, it was dying again. Nick picked it up. So sometimes I think you guys give too much credit sometimes to the other people and guys that are working with you, when you guys have to make sure that you give credit to each other too for what you've done, because Rob and what you're doing now, Nick, is just incredible stuff. I think you guys it's very easy to work with two guys that are so very well prepared to do a game. All I gotta do is try to get a little serious and be funny because all the work's already done.
Well, thank you for that, Larry. But for people that haven't seen the story on you, please log on to KMOT or wherever you can find it on Facebook and talk about the years of dedication you've had for this program too. So I know we're getting ready to start the third. I'll send it back to you guys.
That's Rob Hall, former
Thanks,
play-by-play voice of Minot High Magicians hockey. Stop by tomorrow and take a period if you want it. At the end of two played, Minot High trails 7-1. We're underway for the third with Davies now firing away at the senior net keeper Odie Nelson, who comes in relief for Trey Sortland after Trey had a shaky night tonight. In the first two periods of play, you feel bad for the kid, obviously, with the way things went for him in his first North Dakota State high school hockey tournament. In on Nelson, he'll make a glove save and hang tight to it. 16-20 ticks away in the third period. You know, when you talk about Rob Hall, there's one thing that nobody can disagree with, and that is one of the nicest, kindest guys you're ever going to meet.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, he wanted her to fly, and he never wanted to get confrontational or ever make anybody mad at him, because he just is that kind of guy still. He just doesn't want anyone to be mad about anything that he does or says, and he's a true professional, and I hope he gets back into this field because he was one of the best.
Yeah, Rob Hall certainly was. Great seeing him. Davies has control of the puck on the far wall. Puck is taken here and worked back in behind the Minot High cage. Hertz is back on the retrieve. Are you surprised it took the coaching staff that long to bring Odie Nelson into the contest here tonight, Larry, after 7 against Trey Sortland?
Well, I could see what they were doing, though, because you pull him out right away like that and things aren't going good. That could have maybe crushed him for a couple of seasons. He got a chance to make some saves and play a little better here in the second period, so at least he got a little bit of feel of what it's like instead of just giving up 3 goals and then getting pulled. So I think they did good, and now they bring Odie in for the third period. I think that's just fine.
Puck handled here by the Eagles. A drive in. Nelson makes a save. Away now to Plemmel on the near wall. He's going to bring it up to center with the help of Mason Deal, and Deal sends it in. Davies went with a goaltender change as well. That's Wuchik that's now in net for the Eagles, and Wuchik had trouble with the glove save there. Puck's at center, and it's taken here by Thongfet. Thongfet dumps it in, back around the end wall. Around to the near side wing. Hauser on the near boards, freed it down to Luck. He sends it in. Wuchik sends it away to the far side. Puck comes back up to center ice, and with it now are the Eagles again. They cross over with Turnquist. It's taken away by Casey Field at center ice. Try for the hip check was Hauser, freed down to Luck. He fires one towards the net. Stop is made from Wuchik. Comes back away to the half boards. Up to Thongfet, and at center, it's taken and dumped in by Hauser again. 13:53 ticks away here in the run time. 7-1. Davies on top of Minot High. We're in the third period. Minot High's got a date tomorrow, it looks like, with Grand Forks Red River. The Rough Riders lost tonight in overtime to Bismarck Century. That was a thriller. Nick Brown had 2 in the contest. Isaiah Thongfet to head forward. He had a hit on the play and the stop there. We're down to 13:32. They stopped the clock because of the media timeout.
Yeah, earlier today they weren't stopping the clock. We thought it was going to be running time in that Central game. It turns out it sounds like they just forgot that it was running time in the third, but they do stop it here with the TV timeout like Nick said it. You know, one thing though for Minot High hockey and Tony Swearingen, who used to senior that used to do games with Charlie Fox, and then Rob, and now you and I. Minot's got to be happy and got to be proud that they actually have hockey on the radio, because it still blows my mind that Bismarck, our capital city, with 3 teams here shortly, the way it sounds, do not do hockey on the radio. And Jamestown does games. Williston no longer does games. Botno just does selected games. It's nice for the Minot fans to have Minot still proudly, after all these years, doing high school hockey on the radio.
No, it's fun to be here. It's something that I'm going to look to continue to do for as long as I can. It's fun. I talked about that this morning with you, and just about the passion that comes with it, being a part of more than just, it's not just a winter sport, it's a way of life, it's a culture. I mean, when you're in the youth program, this is what you look forward to. Obviously, you want to move on and play for a junior program, but the end goal for most of the players in the youth program is to make the varsity high school hockey team. At least it was that way back when I played back in the day. Here's a drive in on Nelson. He made the glove save.
You know, and it's an event, too, like you talked about earlier. Now the clock is now running here, 13:05 and counting. Real good friend Scott Duke, former manager of the Magicians back in the late 70s. He was here 4 years ago and the Magicians won it. He's visiting us here tonight before he goes back down to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where he now lives. And getting to see him and get to see some of the other people here on a regular basis every year just makes it just so worthwhile coming down here, whether the maroon and gold wins or not.
Taken by the Eagles back in their own territory behind their net. Comes back up to Riley Oproot. He sends it in. How in the world does Jared Winter, the goaltender for Davies that started the contest tonight, not end up as an all EDC selection?
That's unbelievable.
There's got to be, I'm baffled by that with the numbers that goaltender has. A 1.43 goals against average this year. A 1.6 last year and a 2.8 goals against average his sophomore year. Then you throw in his save percentage. He's just about at 94 this year. He's at 92 as a junior, 93 as a sophomore, and he's never been chosen as an all-region player. In my mind, that's good enough for Gatorade Senior Athlete of the Year stuff over here on the east side of the state. But then again, looking at the program today, as Minot High and Luck try to carry it onto their own end, I look back at the Mr. Hockey selections from the years past. There's only 2 ever from Minot High School off signs of the Magi. One was Fillion in '93. The other was Darren Medler back in, what would that have been, 2010? I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, about 9 years ago, I think. No.
I'll tell you right now, it was Medler in 2011. And then I think about Bray Efforts, how he got hosed in 2015.
Yes, he did.
He should have been Mr. Hockey hands down. And like Bray said, yeah, we want a state title. And I said, listen, man, there's going to be 30 years down the road where your name should still be in that program. In front of the net, Davies has scored again. It's 8-1 on the give and go.
Unbelievable pass there. We'll call that 6:02 as the clock is running. And no chance there for Odin Nelson on that play. And now we've got an 8-1 hockey game. And most of us Minot people are just waiting to go out to eat after this one.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's too bad, but got a match with Red River the way it looks tomorrow.
Here's your Eagles goal.
Starts up at 11 a.m. with Mandan taking on Fargo South. And then 30 minutes after that game completes, it will be Minot and Red River. Those will be next door on the Farmers Union sheet of ice now.
Oh, great. Here comes Stenberg into the offensive zone. Stenberg goes down, and Stenberg hits the deck hard. He was hit there by Larson. Deal hits Stibbe over in the corner. Stibbe trying to soccer it to himself for under 10 to play here in the third. It's 8-1 Fargo Davies, and they have embarrassed Minot High tonight. Shots are 36-14. Bouncer in towards the net. That one right of the cage, and it's underneath the goal line where Eagles have control again here with Austin Schmidt. Out to center for Stibbe. Yeah, when you look at it too, Larry, I think it's fair to say that Davies is taking their foot off the gas pedal almost even, and some senses here in this third period. Obviously run time slows things up just a bit, or doesn't allow the flow to go the way that might go, or not as much time. Then again, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. 9:08 to play in the third. It's 8-1. Give me a break. We're getting walloped here tonight.
They're going to stop the clock this time at 9:07 as it's yet another delicious TV timeout.
Well, when you look back to last year, Fargo Davies lost Jay Buchholz. He graduated, 37 points for him. They also graduated 9 other players. Then they lost Clevin as well, and Tyler Clevin was a player for Davies that was an absolute stud on the back end. How good was he? Well, he was good enough to now don a jersey for Team USA. He plays for the United States Development Program, under 18 program. Now that's Tyler Clevin that played here at Davies. I mean, that's pretty impressive when you go play for Team USA. Quinn Filling played for that same program, the U.S. development team back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it's nice to see talent from our state be able to go up to that almost highest level of hockey. And lots of other teams lose players each year now to junior hockey as well. So that never used to happen back 20, 30 years ago. Now the high school hockey teams have to just take that into consideration. If you might lose your big guns, that they find somewhere else to play.
Yeah, it's kind of been Minot's MO this year that they've had. They score by committee. Here's a drive coming in, and the stop is made on the attempt, and a nice play there from Luck that set up Knutson. Minot High hasn't had that marquee player this year that they have had for the past few years. You look at what the Magicians had last year. They graduated off Jake Vile. He only had 27 points. But when you go back in the record books over the last 10 years, you look at what the Magicians have delivered as far as point production, Larry. And Quinn Fuchs leads all players in the last 10. Fuchs, 158 points coming in 79 games played. He was a difference maker. He was a guy that certainly could get things done. Davies has control in the offensive zone. You look at Easton Bennett's career, he had 149 points for the Magi. That was 69 goals Matt Flom had 80 goals for 138 points. Sam Ebert had 89 points, 37 goals, 47 for Shapleski. Schwarz, 79. You know, that's career total stuff, and those are marquee players that can change a season and change a game like this. Talked about that, the importance of it as Hertz looks to fire it towards the net, knocked down there. Davies is going to push back out to center again, and it's a clear-cut breakaway in all alone. Here's a drive, whistling on up and wide was Bellerud. Down to 7:37 to play here in the third.
But the Magicians do have some young talent that we're hoping will materialize into that the next several years.
100%.
They got a lot of experience this year with only 5 seniors on this hockey club.
Well, what I like most about this group, they're my pick to win the West Region next year. What I like about this group is that they're hockey players. The younger guys are certainly guys that have a passion for this, and they do not like losing. This will leave a taste in their mouth for a while. This is a beat down here at the opening round of the tournament as Fillion. He's one of them. Crosses over center. He's a junior. Takes it down into the offensive zone. Back behind the offensive net. And the stop is made from Woodchick. He'll hang tight to it. Meaning that these guys are hungry. They're going to be showing up and hoping to change the tide after what has happened here in 2019. 6:40 to play in the third. It is 8-1. Post Out Production, DJ Services, post-game shows next. Maybe Buffalo Wild Wings for us tonight would be good.
Nick's thinking about eating.
Out to center ice. Here's a drive in on Odie Nelson. He makes the stop. Back behind the net. Comes back in front of the cage. Stibbe worked it to the point. Handled here. Worked back down low off of Justin Lamp. And into the corner it comes. Well, tomorrow will be interesting. Century and Davies will play in semifinal number 2. It will be Grand Forks Central and Bismarck High in semifinal number 1. Somebody's going to play for a state title on Saturday evening here at the Shields Arena. Hate to tell you, kids, it won't be the Magicians this year. Back into the offensive zone. Stibbe was waiting for the pass. Puck just lays in the slot. Now it comes up for the man giant into the offensive zone. It's Stenberg, turns it, fires it towards the net. Stenberg's got it down low underneath the goal line. Stenberg wearing different pants than the rest of the team here tonight. He's got the 2 white stripes on the side of him. Down low it comes, a drive. Woodchick makes the stop, but it comes back away here for the Eagles. They push out with rope, comes back to center ice, and now it's POTUS, who's got a hat trick tonight. He walks in. POTUS is ridden off the play there by Riley Oprud with the help of Stenberg. Jack Plebble right in front of the Minot High bench. Off of Mason Deal, he'll dump it in. We're under 5 to play in the third period. 8-1 Davies all over Minot High here tonight. It was that way from the face-off tonight that started the contest. 53 seconds in, the Eagles were on the board tonight. They haven't looked back. POTUS's 25th goal of the year. Then they got one from Schmidt. Then they got one from Stibbe. Schmidt got another one. Then Cade Hansen tacked one in. Then Hillman scored for the Magi. Back-to-back goals from POTUS. One from Corbett. That's how they get 8 tonight. Here's a drive in front of the net. Nice on the board. Isaiah Thomas off to Luck. And the best line tonight for the Magi has been line number 4, the Young Guns, and they're on the board again.
The freshman Luck tips that one in on a nice pass. And we take a look at the scoreboard. We'll just call that, let's just call it 13 minutes. The clock is running now down to 4.
Well, Jaden Luck for the Magi doesn't have a whole lot of those on the year, but he gets one to pay off tonight. Goal number 3 on the year. Bogfet's got it here. He'll dump it down. 3:44 to play here in this third period. Let's listen in.
Even straight goal scored at the 12:41 mark. For the Magicians, number 27, Jaden Luck. With the assist going to number 23, Isaiah Bogfet.
Bogfet with the assist, Dick's all over it.
Magicians, number 27, Luck.
27 from 23 at 12:41, and they want to take yet another media timeout.
3:40 to play here in the third period. Well, Larry, this sets up tomorrow's action here at the Shields Arena. The girls' contest didn't go the way for the Mad Jets that they wanted it to go today.
Nope, a 1-0 defeat to Bismarck.
They'll play in the Farmers Union Arena tomorrow at night. Tomorrow, the girls will play tomorrow night at roughly 7:30. The boys matchup tomorrow that we'll have for you here on 1390 KRRZ and at ProStyleProduction.com will be roughly, let's call it 1:30 tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty close to that, I'd say. 30 minutes after the 11 o'clock game gets done. Yeah, 1:32-ish, I think.
Yeah, I'm only laughing because
why are you laughing? You don't even know why you're laughing anymore. You're delirious.
Well, 8-2, Davies, they have taken it to the Magi here tonight.
We need a Snickers bar to the press box, please. Snickers bar to the press box.
I say maybe some Asian Zing wings. Hard spot to be in and call these games. The passion that you've got for Magi hockey, you don't expect to come in tonight. I told everybody I knew that I expected Minot High to not only win this game, but maybe surprise some people and win it big, and that has been the complete opposite tonight. Davies has pounded the Magi 8-2. No, you don't win them all. You just like it to be a little bit more respectable tonight. This is a beatdown. I guess the other thing I would say about it too, Larry, with 3 minutes on the dot remaining here in the third, is that Minot High's been playing well as of late. I know that Fargo Davies is obviously stiffer competition than Jamestown probably, but Minot High played well against Century, who's going to the state semifinals. We lost to them 4-1. This is double that margin here tonight. 2:40 to play here in the third period. Eagles have control again. They're going to bring it into Minot High territory. Right in front of Odin Nelson, who came in relief in the third period. The stop made by Odian. It comes back to the top of the circle. Now Luck, the second point getter tonight for the Magi on the goal side of things. Tripped down the play. That time for the Magicians was Dawson Knudsen. Minot High goes to the power play.
Yeah, penalty on Davies, skater, number 13. Look at me, I already threw my roster sheet away. Isaac Ballbitch gets the call. Two minutes and counting left in this one here tonight.
Do you remember a time in your career that Minot High's gotten blown out like this in the opening round of the tournament? Does there one stick out to you?
No, but I'm sure it's happened. I don't think this is the first time.
I don't think it has either. It's been a while since they've suffered a defeat like this, however.
I'm sure our crack research team will be on that before tomorrow. Do we have a crack research team?
I don't even know what a crack research team is, filling it into the offensive zone. Minute 22 left in the contest. Murphy's got it.
It's a research team that's great at getting stats and stuff to the announcing crew. That's what it means. It's a crack research staff.
You know it's a bad night for the Magi when we're talking about this. A minute 3. Here comes the 1 minute call.
1 minute to play. 1 minute.
Thank you. Well, anyone that's got a passion for Magicians hockey and that's a fan of this one tonight, they're still listening to this beatdown here tonight at the hands of Fargo Davies. You're glad that there's only 40 seconds left in the contest. It's been all Fargo Davies tonight. Blocker side of Odin Nelson, back in behind the net. Puck comes back away now to Deal. He'll skate it up to center ice, and Deal's got it here. He's hit over the blue line. Future's bright for the Magi. Can't stress that enough. And Stenberg scores for good measure from
5 feet inside the blue line of the slot. He just throws it to net, and it goes in. I'd say here comes the comeback, but there's only 19 seconds left in the hockey game.
Goes back to stop clock now, 8-3. And the draw at center ice. Luck's line back out. Minot High and Red River tomorrow.
Even strength goal scored at the 16:41 mark by the Magicians in number 22, Kyler Stenberg. With the assist on the number 24, Mason Deal.
Mason Deal gets the assist on Stenberg's goal.
For the Magicians, 22 Stenberg from 24 Deal.
And the kids weren't even around anymore to count it down.
8-3 is the final tonight. Charlie Fox said it best. Come get me, mommy, I am through. The Magicians feeling that way tonight. So are we. 8-3 the final. Let's go to our Pro Style Production post-game show. Magi following a heartbreaker tonight. 8-3 is the final. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Libedo Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knopp. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We are at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork and their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Libedo Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. It's time for the Pro Style Production DJ Services postgame show. Make your event Pro Style with the Pro Style Production DJ Services team. Visit ProStyleProduction.com and make your event Pro Style. Now, the Pro Style Production post-game show. Here's Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall.
Well, the bracket is set for the state semifinals tomorrow night. You've got Bismarck High and Grand Forks Central. Bismarck Century and Fargo Davies going toe-to-toe tomorrow night, as they will compete to see who goes on to the state championship game on Saturday. Minot High falls tonight 8-3. My goodness, was not a good night for the Magicians tonight. Can't stress it enough, Larry. The future's bright, but you can say that as much as you want. At the end of the day, we're here to see Minot High Magicians hockey win, and there's no ribbon for second place when you're sitting in that consolation bracket. Minot High needs to win tomorrow just to stay alive in the tournament. Nothing pretty about that one tonight for the Magi, calling it like we see it. 8-3 is the final here. Cade Stibbe, a special player for Fargo Davies, shows why he's one of the tops of the state. And they had plenty of guys that were going tonight. POTUS had a big night tonight. He had a hat trick for Davies as well. And Austin Schmidt, they had good goaltending on the back end. Davies really didn't have much goaltending. They didn't need much goaltending as Minot High got peppered in the shot category as well. How about the official stat sheet here tonight to this 8-3 beatdown tonight from Fargo Davies?
We'll recap the scoring in this one. Aiden POTUS got the first goal at the 53-second mark on the first shot on net on an assist from Cade Stibbe to make it 1-0 Davies. Then Austin Schmidt found the back of the net at 3:03 on assist from Dylan Jensen and Cade Stibbe, and it was 2-0 for Davies. Then at the 5:29 mark, Stibbe scored an unassisted goal to make it 3-0, and then Austin Schmidt from Stibbe and Dylan Jensen made it 4-0 for Davies at the 9:25 mark, and the rout was on. At 12:38, it was Cade Hansen from Aiden POTUS and Andrew Sandvik. And then Minot finally at the end of the first period got a goal line extended shot from Ashton Hillman to make it a 5-1 hockey game at the break. Then in the second period, it was POTUS again unassisted at 1:29. And at the 12:25 mark, he tallied again on an assist from Isaac Balvich, and Davies was well on the way. At the 6:02 mark, it was Tyler Corbin from Connor Turnquist and Jackson Bellerud. And then the Magicians ended up scoring 2 goals late in garbage time that at least helped the score on the scoreboard. Jaden Luck, the only freshman on the hockey club, got a goal from Isaiah Thongfett at the 12:41 mark. And then Kyler Stenberg from the top of the slot got one passed on an assist from Mason Deal at 16:41. And that ended the scoring at 8-3. Penalties in the game, only 3 penalties called the whole game. I haven't seen that for a long, long time. A 5-minute boarding on the Magicians and 2 2-minute penalties were called on Davies. Goaltender saves, Jared Winter, as Nick said, not very busy. 3 saves in the first, 7 in the second. And then coming in the third was John Uchik, and he ended up with 2 saves. And for the Magicians, Trey Sortland had 9 in the first, 15 in the second, and Odin Nelson came in and had 7 in the third. So the game totals there, shots on goal, favored Fargo Davies 39-15. Quality scoring chances 22-9 favored Davies as well. So almost in every category, and they just buzzed the net. They crashed the net, and the slot, if it goes unprotected, they're going to have a field day, and they did. And Fargo Davies proves that they think they should be up there with Grand Forks Central and Red River. Of course, Red River has fallen by the wayside now. Well, Davies thinks that they can handle Grand Forks Central, and we'll see if they can or not tomorrow.
It's time for the Minot's Finest Collision Center Stars of the Game. Minot's Finest Collision Center. We are Minot's Finest.
Well, a pretty easy choice tonight for our stars of the game. I'll tell you who the star isn't tonight. That's your son, Brandon McFall, for helping the Grand Forks Central cheerleaders hang this Grand Forks Central sign right behind us here in the press box.
You're really down on that, aren't you?
I couldn't believe what I was watching. That just goes to show how great of a job you guys do at the Mesa, support, helping everybody first. But when I saw him helping hang a Grand Forks Central sign today, I couldn't believe my eyes.
Well, I think it's unbelievable parenting, where I've taught him to always be kind to the women, and they needed help putting up a banner, so Brandon helped. I know you're not live right now.
Yes, he did help in that one.
By the way, we are live.
Final score is 8-3 tonight. Here's our stars of the game. From Fargo Davies tonight, and they're all coming from the Davies side with 8 goals on the board. They were the better team in the hockey game tonight. 2 goals tonight. Points number 30 and 31, Austin Schmidt. Second star of the game tonight, Cade Stibbe, and he might even be the star of the game. He had 3 assists and 1 goal tonight. Before the contest, Stibbe came in as the number 6 skater in the state as far as points are concerned with 49. After tonight, he'll have 53. Big night for Stibbe, right there with the guy that got the hat trick, Aiden POTUS, who came into the contest with 31. You can mark him up to 35. And that's how our 3 stars will go tonight. POTUS, Stibbe, and 17, Austin Schmidt. Those would be the stars of the game tonight, brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center. 1:30 tomorrow. Minot High and Red River, your favorite team of all time, going toe-and-toe. The loser goes home. Winner will play for 5th tomorrow after tomorrow's game. What do you expect out of the Red River matchup tomorrow right next door here at the Farmers Union Arena?
Well, once again, the Magicians have to come out quick and with a step, and they got to get away from this, giving up the first shot goal right away all the time. We've seen that too much. Can't do that to Red River. Red River is not as tough as they normally are, so the Magicians have a chance against these guys, but they still have to play a near-perfect game, and if they don't do what we thought they should do tonight, they're going to be in trouble again. So the Magicians have to forecheck. They have to get the puck out of their zone on the first pass to break it out, and they have to protect in front of the goaltender. We don't know who that's going to be, either Nelson or Sortland, of course, but they just have to hustle more. They got out-hustled tonight. They got outworked, and that's something that can't happen against Red River.
Hands down, outplayed. Action starts tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. First game you'll see tomorrow, you've got Mandan taking on Fargo South. After that, 30 minutes after, we'll call it 1:30, it's Minot High and Red River. Then the girls will have their contest, and then the boys' action will take place again over here on this side. Maybe the girls' action is all on that side of the arena. It is tomorrow. Excuse me. The way they've got the bracket set up, the girls don't make their appearances on this ice surface until championship day. Is that correct? Have you looked at this bracket?
No, their semifinals are here.
Their semifinals are here.
That's why the boys' consi bracket's over on the other rink now.
I'm right.
All the consolations are on the Farmers Union. All the championship bracket games are over here.
And that's what I thought. I apologize. So tomorrow night, you'll see these games on WDAY Extra tomorrow night. Central and Bismarck at 5:30, roughly at 8 o'clock. Bismarck Century and Fargo Davies. Winners advance. Those losers will play for 3rd place. But it's Minot High, Red River tomorrow. Planet Pizza pregame show will start tomorrow. Let's call it 1:15. Tomorrow would be a good time to tune into your radio dial on 1390 and at ProStyleProduction.com. Any closing thoughts here tonight?
No, I was just going to ask you a question, though. Does that mean I could sleep till noon?
I think.
Or are you going to wake me up at 7 in the morning like you did today?
Well, the hot tub and breakfast open early tomorrow.
Wow. Then, of course, there's John Willert, who called me again and woke me up after you woke me up. Can't get a break.
Final tonight. The Magicians couldn't get a break either. 8-3 is the final. Special thanks to Rob Hall for stopping by tonight. Special thanks to John Grubb, Ryan Cunningham as well. For Larry McFall, my broadcast partner, I'm Nick Hulberg, signing off from the Shields Arena. Not the way the Magi wrote it out tonight, but it happened. 8-3, Davies gets the win. Minot High plays Red River tomorrow. We'll see you for the Planet Pizza pregame show tomorrow at around 1:15. Good night, and God bless.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.